Pause now. This is not an accident. The fact that your eyes are on these words is not by coincidence, but by divine interruption. Heaven has stepped into your moment because you need to hear, "This, you are not like the rest." You were never designed to blend in. You were never created to follow the patterns of the world. You are chosen, marked, set apart. And heaven has been shaken by what you did. Think carefully. There were nights you cried when no one was watching. Moments you chose obedience when no one applauded. Times you resisted temptations that promised you relief. You thought it was small. But in those quiet decisions, you shook eternity. The unseen world trembled when you whispered yes to God. The plans of darkness collapsed when you refused to surrender. Angels leaned in closer every time you prayed through your tears. You see, chosen one, what you carry is heavy because it was never ordinary. Your pain has been weighty, your silence costly, your endurance misunderstood. Yet heaven noticed. The moments you thought no one saw were the very moments that shifted heaven's atmosphere. The victories you won in secret caused angels to rejoice and hell to tremble. Now, know this. Every small obedience has been a blow to the kingdom of darkness. Your quiet sacrifices have become the scaffolding for destiny, where you chose to forgive. Chains around your family line loosened, where you refused compromise. Doors opened that were previously sealed. This is not exaggeration, it is the economy of heaven at work. Angels catalog your loyalty. Their footsteps thunder toward the places you will one day stand. Do not despise the mustard seed acts. They are the blueprint of larger miracles. Stand firm, because what looks insignificant now is already monumental in the courts above. You have been chosen to carry more than a promise, you carry a transfer. Generations will reap the harvest sown in your midnight prayers. The enemy counted on your silence. But instead, your quiet obedience has written new destiny lines. When you speak with courage, nations will listen. When you walk in humility, thrones will shift. This is why the road has been rough. Refining removes the dross, so you can be a conduit of clarity and power. Keep tending the small altar of daily faithfulness. It will be the furnace that forges your crown in seasons yet to come boldly. Now, rise with the assurance that your story is embedded in the song of heaven, where others whisper doubt. Your testimony will roar. Claim the inheritance of peace, not by seeking it from the world, but by standing in the quiet victories you won when no one watched. Those victories are the maps, the blueprints, and the keys. Move forward with deliberate steps, knowing the courts above have nodded in your favor. The shaking you caused was a declaration. Heaven honors the faithful. Walk into what has been prepared. Your season of increase is imminent. Receive it with bold humility. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 56, verse 8. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. Every tear you shed was collected. Not one drop fell wasted. Every sigh was written in the eternal record. Every sacrifice you made, every hidden prayer, every quiet surrender was documented in heaven's archives. Think about that. Chosen one, your faith is not lost in silence, it is thunder in heaven. When others bowed, you stood. When others gave in, you resisted. When others turned away, you endured. That is why heaven paused for you. That is why your name is whispered among angels, not because you were perfect, but because you kept going. The enemy thought your breaking point would silence you, but your survival was a shout of defiance. Your endurance declared, God is still worthy. Do you understand what this means? You are heaven's headline. While the world overlooked you, heaven celebrated you. While people dismissed you, God recorded you. You may feel ordinary, but your choices echo in eternity. That is why you feel battles others do not feel. That is why your journey feels heavier. You are carrying not just your own story, but a mantle that shifts generations. Chosen one. Hear this. The shaking in heaven was not because of a grand event, but because of the quiet faith you carried in the shadows. Your faith disrupted cycles in your family line. Your prayers broke patterns you didn't even know existed. Your obedience opened doors for descendants who will never know the cost you paid. You may feel weak, but heaven sees you as a warrior. This is not a time to doubt. This is not a moment to shrink back. The same God who recorded your tears is the God who will turn them into oil, into power, into anointing. Every sleepless night will birth strength. Every silent cry will become a song of victory. Every hidden surrender will manifest as glory. And now, chosen one, you are called to respond. Heaven has already recognized you, but earth must also witness your declaration. Do not remain silent. Step into agreement. This is not for entertainment. This is for activation. When you respond, when you declare, when you act, you align yourself with the movement of heaven. So, here is the call. Like this message. Share it with another soul who is about to give up. Because your simple act of sharing can be the rope that pulls them out of despair. Comment boldly below, not as a casual action, but as a prophetic declaration that you hear and you agree. And subscribe, because you are part of the remnant being gathered for such a time as this. You are not watching by accident, you are being summoned into the deeper call of the chosen ones. Beloved chosen one, heaven was shaken by what you did. Now let earth echo your agreement. Seal this moment, not with silence, but with a prophetic number that marks your obedience. Comment this now as your sign of alignment, 999. Chosen one. Lean in, because the heavens are not silent about you. You think your name is just another name among millions, but in the unseen realm it resounds. You are spoken of in places higher than thrones, higher than the voices of nations. The whispers of angels carry your story, and their wings carry the weight of your choices. Heaven's record keepers inscribe the moments when you did not give up, the hours when you prayed while feeling unheard, the seasons when you persevered even as your heart broke. The angels whisper your name because they cannot stay silent about what God has done in you. When the world measured you by surface appearances, heaven looked deeper. When others misunderstood your silence, the angels understood your warfare. When people saw your weakness, heaven saw resilience. There is an echo of your obedience in realms you cannot see. This is why you often feel watched even when alone. It is because the unseen witnesses lean close, observing a chosen one in motion. Chosen one. Do not dismiss this truth. Angels have been assigned to your life, not because you are fragile, but because your mission is weighty. There are forces in the unseen that cannot afford your silence, and so they whisper your name, reminding one another of the destiny you carry. These whispers are not empty. They are records, confirmations, and proclamations that heaven is not done with you. Think about it. Every time you resisted bitterness, Every time you chose to bless instead of curse, your name was carried upward. Angels took note and carried reports of your obedience into the very courts of God. You are not forgotten. Your story is told in heaven like a song sung around the throne. While the world moves on quickly and people forget quickly, heaven lingers long over the details of your life. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 31. If God is for us, who can be against us? Do you understand how profound this is? Chosen one, before you spoke your first word, God already planned the blueprint of your future. While you were doubting, the angels were rehearsing your victory. While you thought you were forgotten, heaven was preparing to exalt you. The whispers of your name are not casual. They are reminders of a divine promise yet unfolding. You may wonder why your life feels like a battlefield. It is because heaven's attention draws the enemy's fury. When angels whisper, demons, listen. They panic at the sound of your name because they know what is written about you. That is why warfare intensifies when you are close to breakthrough. That is why you feel resistance when you are about to enter into something greater. The whispers of angels are signals that heaven is aligning your path, and hell trembles at what's coming. Your name is not ordinary. When it is spoken in heaven, it is wrapped with the fragrance of Christ. Your faith, though imperfect, releases a sound more powerful than armies. Your decisions, though hidden, write history in the unseen. You think you are small, but heaven speaks of you as one who carries the light. The whispers of angels are affirmations that your story is not just yours. It is woven into the eternal plan of God. Beloved, chosen one, there are prayers you prayed that you forgot, but the angels did not. They carried them, presented them, stored them like incense before the throne. Those prayers are still alive, still burning, still whispering your name before God. And every time you felt like quitting but chose otherwise, another whisper was added, another testimony was written, another echo filled the heavens. This is why you often feel a strange pull, an urge to keep moving even when exhausted. It is the weight of heaven's memory of you. Heaven refuses to let you be erased. The whispers will not allow your destiny to fade. The unseen world has declared, this one belongs to God. This one will rise. This one will fulfill the call. Chosen one. Can you imagine this while you doubt yourself? Angels stand in awe of you. While you question your worth, they recount your victories. While you cry, they whisper your name with reverence. They see not just your pain, but the glory hidden in it. They know the future fruit that will spring from your obedience. And so they keep speaking. Because silence cannot contain what God is doing in you. Let this truth settle deep. You are not alone in your fight. You are not unseen in your struggle. The whispers prove that you are observed, remembered, and honored. The battles you think no one understands are well understood in heaven. Every weakness you confess becomes strength in their reports. Every burden you carry becomes glory in their testimony. What is coming will make sense of what was whispered. The day will arrive when what angels whisper in secret will be shouted openly in heaven's courts. Your faithfulness will not remain hidden. Your endurance will not remain a mystery. The whispers are previews of the celebration yet to come. Beloved, chosen one, never underestimate what your name means in heaven. Do not despise the weight of your story. You are spoken of with honor where it matters most. Heaven has not stopped whispering about you. and the whispers will not end until the promise becomes reality. Chosen one. Today the Spirit is calling you to remember something the world has overlooked. You think the battles you fight in silence are wasted, that the long nights of struggle and the heavy weight of sacrifice vanish into nothingness. But heaven has recorded it all, and your choices in the secret place have been louder than any trumpet blast in the unseen world. The silent sacrifices that no one applauded have been the very foundations shaking eternity. There are moments you thought you were forgotten, times when you prayed and heard nothing back, times when you gave, forgave, endured, and walked away from what could have destroyed you, and yet there was no applause, no affirmation, no recognition, but chosen one. Heaven took note. Angels stood in reverence as you chose obedience over compromise. The quiet no you gave to sin was thunder in the ears of hell. The yes you gave to God was a roar that carried beyond time. Think back to the things you endured. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every false accusation. Heaven was watching. What seemed like silence was actually sacred observation. Heaven wanted to see if you would still hold on when everything felt stripped away. And you did. That decision, that act of stubborn faith, made heaven tremble. It caused eternal ripples in places you will one day see with your own eyes. You must understand this. Nothing you have given up for God has been wasted. Every relationship you released, every opportunity you surrendered, every desire you crucified, all of it was counted. The unseen world has measured your sacrifice, and it testifies loudly of your allegiance. This is why you cannot blend in. This is why your journey has been heavier than most. You carry weight others do not, because you are chosen. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." Beloved, this means that even though you feel like your sacrifice has gone unnoticed, there is a set time when it will speak. There is a day appointed where your hidden yes will be shouted from the rooftops. Your quiet endurance will bloom into undeniable evidence. Your hidden obedience will become the oil of testimony for generations after you. You may think it tarried, but God says it will surely come. Your sacrifices have unsettled the balance of darkness. They expected you to quit. They expected you to conform. They expected you to follow the path of compromise that so many before you took. But you refused. You bore the pain of rejection rather than betray your soul. You carried loneliness rather than bow to idols. That choice made the heavens shake. It caused records to be rewritten in your favor. Chosen one, let me tell you the truth. Many did not understand why you went through what you did. But God allowed it because only pressure can bring out oil. Only crushing can release fragrance. Only fire can refine gold. What you walked through was not punishment, it was preparation. Your tears watered the soil of promises yet to bloom. Your wounds became doorways for glory yet to manifest. The enemy tried to convince you your pain was proof of abandonment. But in reality, your pain was proof of election. Heaven never left you. The Father never turned his face. The silence was his way of watching you grow into the stature of one who could carry crowns. And now, those sacrifices are speaking. The shaking in heaven is the announcement that your season is shifting. But, chosen one, there is something you must do. This cannot remain between you and heaven alone. Agreement must be sealed on earth. There is power when you declare. When you open your mouth. When you make a stand publicly. That's why this moment is holy. It is not for scrolling, not for curiosity, but for alignment. Here is your prophetic action. Comment, I receive below. Not long, not complicated. Just those 2 words. And here is why when you type, I receive, you are not speaking into empty air. You are agreeing with heaven. You are testifying in the courts of earth that you align with the shaking already happening in heaven. It is not for likes or algorithms. It is for covenant. It is for alignment. It is for activation. When you declare, I receive, you are saying, I receive the record of heaven over my life. I receive the validation of my sacrifices. I receive the oil of my tears turned into anointing. I receive the fulfillment of the appointed vision. I receive the destiny that my quiet obedience has already purchased in blood and sweat. These 2 words carry power because agreement is never small. Heaven responds to agreement. Angels respond to agreement. Demons tremble at agreement. Beloved, this is the call to act. Heaven has shaken already because of your sacrifices. But now earth must echo. This moment is weighty. Do not let it slip by without marking it. You are not typing casually. You are inscribing a declaration into the atmosphere. You are confirming before God and before witnesses seen and unseen that you receive what He has prepared. The shaking of heaven was the announcement. The declaration of your mouth is the seal. Do not despise this act. Do not delay. This is your moment to align with what eternity is already proclaiming about you. Chosen one. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not left behind. The silent sacrifices that others dismissed are shaking thrones and altars. They are provoking whispers of angels and declarations of God Himself. You have not labored in vain. You have not cried in vain. You have not obeyed in vain. Your obedience is your crown. Your sacrifice is your oil. And your endurance is your testimony. So lift your head high. You are heaven's chosen. You are the one who shook eternity with your hidden faith. And now, your time has come to seal it with a declaration on earth. Type it, declare it, believe it, and let heaven's whispers turn into heaven's roar. Comment now, I receive. Chosen one. There was a moment when you thought your decision to resist was small. You told yourself, no one saw that. No one noticed. It doesn't matter. Yet that single refusal to bow, that one quiet no you whispered in the midst of temptation, shook the kingdom of darkness like an earthquake. Hell itself trembled because the moment you resisted, you broke an agreement. You severed a chain that the enemy thought was permanent. It is easy to underestimate the power of one decision. You might believe the real battles are fought on stages, in crowds, or in the noise of great platforms. But no, the most decisive battles are fought in silence. They are won in the heart before anyone sees them. You won when you closed the door, when you walked away, when you refused the easy way. And though no human clapped for you, all of hell groaned in defeat. The unseen war is fierce. Every temptation offered to you was not random, it was targeted. Darkness studied your weaknesses. It designed traps that fit your story. It crafted lies tailored to your insecurities. When you said no, you didn't just protect yourself, you ruined years of strategy from the enemy. That is why the resistance was so strong. That is why it felt like everything in you was being pulled toward compromise. But in that moment, you carried something greater than your own willpower. You carried heaven's backing. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it." This scripture proves that your no was never unsupported. God Himself stood behind you, orchestrating the strength to endure. He ensured that even when temptation pressed hard, there was always an escape route. Sometimes the escape was a phone call that interrupted your thought pattern. Sometimes it was the sudden heaviness of conviction that kept you from clicking, saying, or stepping into something destructive. That was God's hand making a way. Your no was not small because it was not only about you, it was about destiny. By resisting temptation, you preserved an inheritance. You refused to forfeit promises that are still unfolding. You kept alive the destiny of your children, grandchildren, and even spiritual descendants you don't yet know. What you refused today became their shield for tomorrow. Hell trembled because you exposed its weakness. Temptation loses its power the moment you realize you have authority. You did not fight alone, yet your participation mattered. The simple act of walking away, of resisting, was enough to break the enemy's claim. Each time you resist, the devil loses ground. Each time you endure, heaven gains territory through you. Do not belittle your choices. Do not minimize the power of one moment. The greatest wars are won in these unseen decisions. That's why the pressure is so intense, because the stakes are higher than you think. If it was just about a fleeting pleasure, the enemy would not fight so hard. No, it is about lineage, about testimony, about mantles, about crowns. Your no carries generational consequences. Chosen one, can you imagine how heaven erupted when you resisted? What looked like silence was actually thunder in eternity. What felt like weakness was strength magnified by God's faithfulness. And while you wiped your tears, angels celebrated the fact that you refused to bow. Your no declared that the enemy does not own you. Your no proved that grace is real. Your no announced that God's Spirit lives in you. You may not feel like a conqueror, but that is exactly who you are. A conqueror is not someone who never feels tempted, but one who refuses to surrender to it. A conqueror is not someone who never faces weakness, but someone who leans into God's strength in weakness. Your weakness became the stage for His power. That is why hell trembled, because they saw that even in your frailty, the Spirit of God is unbreakable in you. Think of how far you have come. There were seasons when temptation owned you, when cycles repeated themselves, when the same mistakes defined you. Yet look now, those same chains are broken. Those same patterns no longer rule your life. That is evidence of heaven's victory through your obedience. What once enslaved you now fears you. The tables have turned. Beloved, this is the mystery of spiritual warfare. The devil tries to magnify temptation, but obedience magnifies God. One act of resistance carries a weight far beyond what you can measure. It echoes into eternity, shifts the present, and rewrites the future. Heaven rejoices not because you avoided pain, but because you proved loyalty. Hell trembles not because you shouted loudly, but because you quietly walked away. This truth must sink deep. The battle was never just about that moment, it was about identity. Temptation was trying to make you forget who you are. But your no was a declaration of identity. You are chosen. You are set apart. You are not for sale. You are not for compromise. And every time you live this truth, hell loses its grip. Do not let shame from past failures lie to you. You are not defined by the battles you lost. You are defined by the victories you won in Christ. Each new no is a reminder that you are not the same. You are free. You are clean. You are strong. And you are chosen. Hell cannot change that, no matter how loud its accusations. So walk forward boldly. Lift your head. Know that your resistance was worth it. Heaven shook because you honored God in private. Hell trembled because its schemes were exposed and defeated. And though no human may ever fully know the weight of your battles, heaven has already recorded your victories in eternal ink. Beloved chosen one, your no is holy. Your no is powerful. Your no is enough to shake nations because it carries the authority of heaven. Never again think of your choices as small. They are cosmic in scale, eternal in impact, and unstoppable in consequence. You are heaven's warrior, and the sound of your resistance is a roar that the enemy cannot silence. Chosen one, there is something the heavens have been weaving in secret for you. You did not see it. But while you were walking through battles and valleys, heaven was preparing a crown. Not a crown of earthly gold that fades, not a recognition that can be taken away, but a crown of honor, woven from your obedience, from your endurance, from the very faith that carried you through the fire. Heaven's crowns are not instant rewards. They are hidden for a season, prepared in silence, waiting for the appointed moment. And this is why you must understand, every tear you cried was a jewel placed in that crown. Every sacrifice you made was a thread woven into it. Every yes you gave to God, even when no one clapped for you, became part of that eternal reward. Think of it like this: while others were chasing applause, you were chasing God. While others were building monuments to themselves, you were building altars. And heaven noticed. Heaven rewarded. Heaven crafted what cannot perish. Do not despise the seasons of waiting, for they are the very times when the crown is being shaped. The Apostle Paul reveals in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, "Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing." Beloved, this scripture is a prophecy over your life. That crown is not only for Paul, it is for you. The one who longs, who endures, who refuses to let go. Your hidden sacrifices are not wasted, they are invested. Your endurance has not gone unnoticed, it has been recorded and rewarded. Heaven itself has been shaken by your perseverance. And now a crown awaits you. But do not misunderstand, this crown is not simply for the future. Though its fullness belongs to eternity, its evidence begins here and now. Already, you walk with an unseen authority. Already, the enemy recognizes you, carry a mantle that cannot be stolen. Already, the light of your obedience shines so brightly that darkness shrinks in your presence. This is the mark of the crown, even before you wear it visibly. Its power radiates from your life. Think of how your story has unfolded. There were chapters of silence, pages soaked in tears, lines filled with pain. But woven through it all was the hand of God, crafting beauty out of ashes. What others saw as wasted years, heaven saw as preparation. What others thought was defeat, heaven saw as refining. Every valley was shaping your crown. Every loss was preparing your mantle. Every battle was forging your authority. This is why the crown matters. It is not about pride or position. It is about testimony. When heaven crowns you, it is a declaration that you remained faithful. It is proof that you endured. It is the Father's way of saying, "This one is mine. This one stood the test. This one did not bow. Chosen one." Do not let discouragement rob you of this vision. Your crown is nearer than you think. Do not throw away your endurance, for it has great reward. Do not surrender to despair, for your story is not finished. The crown, woven in secret, will one day be revealed in glory. And when that day comes, every sacrifice will be worth it. And while we speak of crowns and rewards, let me share something with you. The world cannot understand this kind of reward. People chase recognition, numbers, fame, and applause. But your story is different. You are not here for the applause of men. You are here for the applause of heaven. That is why even now, as you read this, there is a stirring inside of you. You know you are different. You know you are chosen. This is also why I want to pause and speak to your heart with sincerity. Messages like this are not for entertainment. They are for alignment. They are not meant to stir emotion alone, but to remind you of destiny. And if this has spoken to your spirit, then I encourage you, like this message, share it, and subscribe, not because numbers matter, but because connection matters. When you like, you are agreeing with the word spoken over you. When you share, you are sowing seeds into someone else's life, giving them the same hope you just received. And when you subscribe, you are staying close to a stream of reminders that keep your spirit sharp, your focus clear, and your calling alive. It is not about building platforms, it is about building people. It is about staying connected to a remnant that is rising together as heaven's chosen. Think of how many souls might be standing on the edge right now, wondering if they can endure another day. Your act of sharing could be the lifeline they need. Your small click could be the whisper that saves them from surrender. Do not underestimate it. Just as your hidden obedience shook heaven, your public act of faith can ripple across the earth. Chosen one, this is the beauty of your crown. It is not only for you, it is for the generations who will eat of the fruit of your obedience. It is for the souls who will see your testimony and believe. It is for the angels who will rejoice in your victory. And it is for the God who calls you his own. So keep going, keep enduring, keep holding fast. The crown is already prepared, hidden but real, unseen but certain. Heaven has woven it thread by thread, jewel by jewel, sacrifice by sacrifice. And when you finally see it, you will understand why the battle was so fierce, why the fire was so hot, why the road was so long. It was all leading here to a reward that cannot be stolen. Beloved, chosen one, heaven was shaken by what you did. And one day, the world will be shaken by what you carry. Until then, lift your head, walk in quiet confidence, and remember, your crown is already waiting. Chosen one. There are moments in life when everything seems fragile, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, and when hope itself seems faint. You have lived through those nights. You have walked through seasons where surrender seemed easier than faith. And yet, you did not let go. You clung to God when silence screamed louder than His voice. That is why you are reading this right now, because mercy kept you when your strength was gone. Heaven remembers the day you almost gave up. The angels stood still, watching as you battled through the flood of despair. Darkness whispered to you, "It's over." But something in you refused to let those words define your destiny. That something was not your own strength, it was the Spirit of God sustaining you. Heaven paused to hold you together, to stop you from falling into the pit of no return. Chosen one. Listen carefully. Your life could have ended in that season, but it didn't. Your faith could have died, but it survived. Your purpose could have been buried, but it was preserved. The mercy of God held you, wrapped you, and shielded you from decisions that would have destroyed you. And today, heaven still whispers, "You are mine." Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." This is the truth that anchored you when the storms were relentless. You thought you were standing on your own, but the Lord Himself was standing beside you. You thought your prayers fell unheard, but heaven was carrying you. Even in the silence, God was present. Even in the emptiness, He was sustaining you. Do you see the beauty of this? The very season that almost destroyed you has become the foundation for your future. What was meant to break you has now marked you. The pain that nearly consumed you has been transformed into oil for your calling. Heaven shook the day you refused to surrender. And now that shaking is birthing a new level of authority in your life. Beloved chosen one, you need to know you are not living on borrowed time. You are living on divine time. The enemy tried to steal you before your season, but God said no. And because He said no, you are still here, breathing, standing, reading these words. Your story did not end in the valley. Your destiny did not collapse under the weight. You are proof that mercy is stronger than despair. But now, there is a call. Heaven has declared life over you, but earth must echo it. This is why you cannot remain silent. You must step into agreement, because agreement seals destiny. Heaven has preserved you for a reason, and your act of declaring that reason is a testimony that darkness cannot silence. Here is the prophetic act for this section. Comment 444 below, and let me tell you why. The number 444 is a sign of divine completeness and angelic covering. It represents the stability of God's promises, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit moving in perfect agreement over your life. When you type 444, you are declaring, "I will not fear. I will not surrender. I am covered, and I am kept." You are aligning with the truth of Deuteronomy, that you are never forsaken. This is not a casual number. It is a prophetic seal. When you declare it, you are not speaking into emptiness. You are agreeing with the whispers of heaven that preserved you. You are saying, "I acknowledge the mercy that kept me alive. I accept the protection that held me. I align myself with the God who never leaves me." Beloved, understand this clearly. Your life is a testimony. The very fact that you are still here is proof that heaven intervened. The enemy wanted your silence, but now you must give him the opposite, a declaration. Your voice, your act of commenting, becomes a weapon. It proclaims that your story is not over, that mercy is greater than despair, that you are chosen and cannot be erased. Remember, chosen one, you are not surviving, you are rising. You are not barely making it, you are being prepared for greater. The scars you carry are not shame, they are signs of survival. Every mark of pain is now a testimony of grace. Every moment of near collapse is now a story of divine strength. The day mercy stood still was the day destiny shouted louder. So today, lift your head, breathe deeply. Know this, heaven still pauses for you. The angels still whisper your name. The Spirit still declares your identity. You are chosen, you are covered, and you are unstoppable. And now, let the earth hear it too. Let your declaration rise like incense. Seal your survival with a prophetic number that declares heaven's alignment over your life. Comment now 444. Chosen one. Think back to the moments when you came to the edge of yourself, when despair pressed against your chest so heavily that you could hardly breathe. You remember the silence. You remember the weight. You remember the darkness that seemed to mock your hope. It was in that very place, on the brink of collapse, that something unexplainable happened. Mercy stood still. Heaven did not allow you to cross the line into destruction. God himself pressed pause on the chaos that wanted to swallow you whole. In the unseen, angels held their breath. The very rhythm of eternity seemed to hesitate, as though all of heaven was waiting for you to choose life again. And though you thought you were about to shatter, mercy kept you intact. There is something sacred about those moments of almost giving up, almost surrendering to despair, almost believing the lies, almost walking away, almost stepping into choices that would have left scars forever. In those fragile spaces, God showed his fiercest love. He did not let the almost become forever. He stood in the gap, declaring that the story would not end in ruin. Beloved, this is why you are still here. The reason you breathe today is not because you were strong enough. It is not because you knew what to do. It is because heaven stood guard around you. When you were blind to danger, the Spirit was your sight. When you had no words to pray, groanings you didn't understand rose before the throne. When you had no energy to move forward, mercy itself carried you. This is what it means when we say, heaven paused for you, eternity bent down into time, shielding you from what could have destroyed you. You thought it was coincidence, a lucky break, or a random intervention. But it was not random. It was divine intention. The mercy of God wrapped around you like armor, even when you felt naked and exposed. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12. And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. This whisper, chosen one, was the sound that preserved you. When you expected thunder, when you looked for God in explosions of power, what you received instead was the gentleness of mercy, a whisper in the silence that reminded you you are not abandoned, you are not lost, you are not beyond reach. That whisper was enough to keep your spirit alive. Reflect for a moment if the story had gone differently. Where would you be if mercy had not held you back? What path would you have taken? You might have destroyed relationships, lost your purpose, walked into chains too heavy to bear. You might not even be alive to read these words, but because mercy stood still, you are still here. Your story continues. Your mission remains. Your destiny is intact. Heaven was shaken not because you were strong, but because God showed himself strong on your behalf. The courts of heaven witnessed a human life dangling on the edge, only to be pulled back by divine hands. The angels watched as mercy interrupted the plans of hell, and even now, they marvel at the fact that you stand, scarred but breathing, broken but not destroyed, wounded but still chosen one. This is why you must never despise your scars. They are the proof that mercy interrupted judgment. They are the proof that God's whisper outlasted the roar of despair. Each scar is not a mark of failure, it is a reminder of divine preservation. When you touch those wounds, you are touching evidence that God refused to abandon you. Mercy stood still for you. And now you must understand the responsibility that comes with survival. You are not alive by accident. You are not still standing because time healed you. You are still here because heaven has more for you to carry. Your story is not over because there are still assignments attached to your name. What mercy preserved, purpose must fulfill. That is why you cannot waste the days you have been given. Every breath now carries weight. Every step is holy. Every choice is significant. You were spared for impact. You were rescued for influence. You were preserved for testimony. There are people waiting on the other side of your survival. They do not know it yet, but your endurance is their map. Your testimony will become the lifeline for those standing where you once stood. The same mercy that whispered to you will one day whisper through you to them. You will not just carry your survival, you will carry their hope. Beloved, let this truth sink deeply. Heaven does not waste anything, not one tear, not one wound, not one near collapse. Everything you endured has been woven into a greater plan. The very pain you thought would kill you is the soil from which new life will bloom. The ashes you thought would bury you are the ground where beauty will rise. You did not survive to stay silent. You did not survive to hide. You survived to testify. Every moment you almost gave up is now a weapon in your hand. Every lie you resisted is now authority in your mouth. Every scar you carry is now proof of resurrection life. Mercy stood still. Chosen one. And heaven trembled because your survival announced the defeat of hell's schemes. It proved that God's hand is stronger than despair, that his whisper is louder than destruction, that his plans cannot be overruled. You may have thought your life was collapsing, but in reality, your destiny was being preserved. So walk with reverence in this truth. Remember, often the day mercy paused everything for you. Let gratitude become your song, humility your robe, and testimony your weapon. For heaven has already celebrated the fact that you are still here, and the earth will one day see the full fruit of your survival. Chosen one. There are things in your life that seem to bind you from the very beginning. Habits you did not choose. Patterns that seemed inherited. Chains that wrapped themselves around your family line long before you were born. You felt the weight of them pressing in on you, whispering that you could never break free, that you were destined to repeat the same story. But what happened when you chose faith quietly? Without trumpet sound, the chains began to fall. Not every freedom begins with fireworks. Sometimes deliverance begins in silence. It is not always loud or dramatic. It can feel almost invisible at first. You don't always see the chains break. You notice instead the absence of the heaviness. One day, you realize that the appetite for sin has weakened, that the voice of temptation no longer commands you the way it once did. That is the sound of chains falling quietly. The truth is, many of these chains did not originate with you. They were carried through generations, cycles of fear, anger, addiction, despair. The enemy tried to convince you that your story was already written, that you had no choice but to walk the same broken paths. But your faith in Christ disrupted the pattern. When you chose Him, something in the bloodline shifted. You became the interruption, the one who would not bow. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 10, verse 27. In that day, their burden will be lifted from your shoulders, their yoke from your neck. The yoke will be broken because you have grown so fat. This is the mystery of your story. Chosen one. The yoke was broken not because of your strength, but because of the anointing that increased upon you. Every time you worshipped instead of worrying, oil increased. Every time you prayed instead of panicking, oil increased. Every time you forgave instead of growing bitter, oil increased. And as the oil increased, the yoke had no choice but to snap. Your freedom did not announce itself with noise, but heaven noticed. Hell noticed too, because when you rose from your knees with chains lying in pieces, darkness realized it had lost its grip. The very things that enslaved your family for decades could no longer command you. And because you refused to bow, the chains lost their authority to pass on. Beloved, do you realize what this means? It means that what held your parents does not have to hold you. It means that what bound your grandparents will not bind your children. It means that you have become the turning point of generations. The enemy trembles because your yes to God has changed the script for those who come after you. Think carefully. Freedom is rarely flashy. It is often quiet. It is a shift in the atmosphere of your life that others may not notice. But heaven records every detail. You might feel ordinary, but in the unseen you have become a breaker, one who carries authority to dismantle strongholds. Consider how often you resisted the urge to repeat the cycle, the temptation to lash out in anger like those before you, the invitation to settle for despair, the whisper to drown your pain the way others did. Each time you refused, another chain snapped. Each time you chose differently, another cycle ended, and though it was silent, the sound echoed in eternity. Beloved chosen one, never despise the quiet victories. Never think they are small because no one applauded them. Those victories are the reason you stand freer than you once were. They are the reason heaven celebrates your name. They are the reason your children will inherit blessings instead of burdens. The breaking of chains is not just about release, it is about authority. The moment your yokes were shattered, you received the mantle to help others break theirs. The freedom you walk in now becomes a testimony that freedom is possible. When people around you say, "It's always been this way," it will never change. You are the living contradiction. Your life declares, yes, it can change. Yes, the story can be rewritten. Yes, the chains can fall. And do not think for a moment that your freedom is fragile. What God breaks, no man can repair. What God shatters, the enemy cannot rebuild. You may feel the temptation try to whisper again, but its power is gone. It no longer owns you. It no longer defines you. You are free indeed. Remember what Jesus said, "Whom the Son sets free is free indeed." This is not temporary freedom. This is not fragile deliverance. This is permanent, eternal, blood-bought liberty. And the quiet sound of chains falling from your life has become a song of triumph in heaven. Chosen one, let gratitude rise in your spirit. Do not look back with fear, look forward with confidence. The chains are gone, and their hold is broken. You carry lightness where there once was heaviness. You carry joy where there once was despair. You carry hope where there once was resignation. Think of the impact of your story. The people around you may not even know the battles you fought, but they will feel the freedom you walk in. They will sense the peace in your steps, the authority in your words, the fire in your prayers. They will not always understand why, but heaven does. Heaven knows you are walking with the sound of broken chains behind you. Beloved, you may still feel the scars of what once bound you. But scars are not shackles. Scars are testimonies. Scars are reminders that you were once bound, but now you are free. Scars prove that chains were real, but they also prove that chains were broken. Wear them with honor, not shame, because they tell the truth of God's power at work in your life. This is why you cannot live small. You cannot walk as though nothing has changed. The very atmosphere around you shifted when those chains fell. You carry the authority of one who has been delivered, the strength of one who has been preserved, the joy of one who has been redeemed. The chains fell quietly, but their impact was violent. They lost their claim over your destiny. They lost their power over your bloodline. They lost their right to define your story. Heaven shook, hell trembled, and you rose free. So, chosen one, walk boldly. Do not look back with regret. Do not minimize your freedom as though it were a coincidence. It was not coincidence, it was covenant. It was not random, it was redemption. Heaven chose you. Heaven preserved you. And heaven has released you into liberty. And though the sound was quiet, its echo will reverberate for generations. Chosen one, hear this truth. You are not the same person you once were. The battles you fought, the victories you won, and even the scars you now carry have carved something eternal into you. What once chained you no longer has the right to rule over you. What once silenced you now trembles at your voice. You carry an authority that was forged in pain, sealed in tears, and confirmed by heaven itself. But there is something else you must realize. The enemy has not stopped trying. Even after the chains fell, even after the cycles broke, the whispers still come. They come to remind you of who you used to be. They come to drag your mind back into the places you left behind. But every time you refuse those whispers, every time you stand firm, you prove again that you belong to heaven. And with every act of resistance, heaven shakes louder, and the enemy's grip weakens further. Do not despise the subtle battles. The loud ones are obvious, but it is in the silent decisions that you gain the deepest victories. When no one is watching, when no one will ever know, you choose truth anyway. That is when your authority multiplies. That is when your spirit grows stronger. And that is when your testimony carries weight that words alone cannot carry. Remember, chosen one, this is not about perfection, It is about direction. You may stumble, you may fall, but you keep rising. The difference between you and those bound by darkness is not that you never struggle, it is that you never surrender. Heaven has seen this. Heaven celebrates this. Heaven whispers your name because of this. You have endured bitterness but did not let it define you. Your wounds stand as proof of victory. Each time you rise after a fall, your faith is forged stronger, increasing the authority within you and turning your voice into a powerful instrument that now breaks chains. Do not fear the whisper that tries to return. Every time you refuse the past, you reinforce a new foundation. Patience tempered in the night becomes the crucible that turns experience into strategy. You walk now with tested power, no longer easily shaken. You move with steady resolve. The quiet victories you win do not need applause to be significant. They are what change your destiny. Even when others forget, heaven remembers every step. The small acts you offer today will become the legacy of faith passed down to future generations. Carry gratitude in every breath. Thankfulness turns wounds into ministry. When you share your story, you release hope. When you pray through your scars, you set others free. You have walked a painful road so you could become a source of healing for those who come after you. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 36, "So, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." This is not partial freedom. This is not fragile deliverance. This is freedom sealed by the blood of Christ, secured by his resurrection, sustained by his Spirit. When the Son declares you free, nothing in heaven or earth or hell can revoke it. That is why the chains you once carried are no longer your story. They are your testimony. But, beloved, this freedom is not just for you. It is meant to overflow. Your life is now a message, written not with ink, but with scars, tears, and victories. You are a living epistle, a walking testimony, a breathing declaration that God still delivers. Every person who sees you, who hears your story, is being invited into the same freedom you now carry. This is why the enemy fears you, not because of who you were, but because of who you are becoming. Not because of your weakness, but because of your testimony. Not because of your failures, but because of your persistence. You terrify the kingdom of darkness because you are proof that freedom is real. And proof is dangerous, it cannot be argued against. So hear this carefully. Do not hide your freedom. Do not shrink back as if nothing happened. Lift your head. Walk boldly. Speak when prompted. Testify when asked. Your freedom is a weapon. Your story is a sword. Your endurance is a shield. Heaven has entrusted this to you, not to be buried, but to be shared. And now, chosen one, you are invited to mark this moment with a declaration, not for applause, not for performance, but for alignment. There is power in agreement, and heaven responds to words spoken in faith. That is why I call you now to take a prophetic action. Comment, "I hear you." Yes, those 3 words may seem simple. They may seem ordinary, but they are not. They are a response to heaven's whisper. They are a confirmation that your spirit is awake, that your heart is aligned, that your ears are open. When you declare, "I hear you," you are saying, "Lord, I recognize your voice. I acknowledge your presence. I respond to your call." And let me tell you, The enemy dreads that declaration, because when you hear God, you cannot be deceived. When you hear God, you cannot be manipulated. When you hear God, you walk in authority that no darkness can silence. It is sealing your freedom with agreement. It is aligning your mouth with heaven's voice. It is proof that you are listening, not just reading, not just existing, but truly listening to the Spirit. Your voice matters. Your response matters. When you speak these words, you are not just marking this moment, you are releasing authority into your atmosphere. You are planting a flag in the unseen that declares, I am free. I am chosen, and I hear the voice of my Father. So let this be your declaration. Let it rise from your heart. Let it shake the silence around you. Comment it boldly, not as a ritual, but as a covenant. 3 simple words that echo louder than the noise of despair. I hear you. Chosen one, you must understand something profound about the path you walk. What you carry is not just for yourself. Your obedience, your sacrifice, your faith, your tears, they all ripple outward into generations, touching people you may never meet and shifting stories you may never hear. Heaven shook when you said yes to God, because in that yes, curses lost their grip, cycles shattered, and bloodline patterns were rewritten. There are chains that ran through your family like rivers, flowing from generation to generation, shaping destinies and bending lives toward destruction. Addiction, despair, anger, brokenness, these were patterns long embedded into your history. But the moment you gave your yes to God, something in the heavens shifted. You did not just save yourself, you shifted the inheritance of those who will come after you. Your yes became the dam that stopped the river of destruction and released a new stream of blessing. Chosen one, listen, this is why your yes matters more than you think. The battles you fought in secret were never just about you. They were about children not yet born, families not yet built, communities not yet restored. Every time you resisted darkness, you protected a future you could not yet see. Every time you surrendered to God, you gave your descendants a chance to walk in freedom. It is written in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 6, "But showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments." This promise was not given lightly. It was given to remind you that your yes echoes through time. God's covenant of love and mercy stretches farther than curses ever could. Your obedience today is sowing seeds of blessing that will bloom across generations. That is why heaven was shaken. It is because your yes carried more than you realized. Beloved, think of it this way. When you said yes to God, chains that had held your ancestors for centuries snapped. Doors that were shut swung open. Cycles that devoured families collapsed. And in their place, a new foundation was laid. You are not just chosen for yourself. You are chosen as a repairer of breaches, a restorer of paths, a breaker of curses. Do you see why the battles against you have been so fierce? The enemy was never just trying to take you down, he was trying to keep the curse alive. He feared your yes because it would destroy his claim on your bloodline. He feared your faith because it would preserve generations. He feared your obedience because it would release blessings he could not stop. Beloved chosen one, your yes has weight. It is written in heaven. It is carved into eternity. Every time you choose God over compromise, angels mark it down. and blessings flow outward like waves. Your yes is the reason why curses are broken. Your yes is the reason why blessings overflow. Your yes is the reason why your children and your children's children will inherit light instead of darkness. So now, do not despise the battles you fight. Do not minimize the power of your choices. Each decision to obey is a seed planted in eternity. Each act of surrender is a key handed to generations who will walk through doors you opened. Each step of faith is a foundation stone for those who will stand after you. This is why you cannot keep this to yourself. This message is not just a whisper to your heart, it is a trumpet blast for the world. Others need to know that curses can be broken, that destinies can be rewritten, that a single yes to God can shake heaven and earth. That is why I invite you, with sincerity and humility, to act now. If this word has struck your spirit, if you know this is your story, then like this message, not because it adds to numbers, but because it is an act of agreement. Every like is a silent declaration. I choose obedience. I choose destiny. I choose blessing. And share this. Beloved chosen one, share it because there are souls who are still bound, who believe that their story cannot change, who think the curse is stronger than the cross. Your act of sharing may be the seed that brings them hope. It may be the rope that pulls them back from the brink. Do not underestimate the power of one simple share. It could save a life, shift a destiny, or break a curse in someone else's bloodline. And subscribe, not out of routine, but out of alignment. This is not just about content, it is about connection. When you subscribe, you are choosing to remain close to a flow of words and reminders that keep your spirit strong. You are stepping into a remnant community of chosen ones who are walking the same path, carrying the same battles, and celebrating the same victories. Together, we rise. Together, we overcome. Together, we walk as the army of God on earth. Beloved, goes into tomorrow. Lift your head. Chosen one, walk with confidence. You are the bloodline breaker. You are the curse destroyer. You are the testimony that God is faithful to 1,000 generations. Your yes has shaken heaven, and your yes will continue to ripple across eternity. Chosen one, do you realize that every tear you shed was not wasted? Every sigh, every groan, every silent cry that no one else noticed was transformed into something precious in the courts of heaven. To you, they may have felt like weakness, but in the eternal realm they became oil, oil of anointing, oil of purpose, oil of strength for nations. You see, your pain was not random. It was not meaningless. Every cry had weight. Every sleepless night had purpose. You carried sorrow that felt unbearable, but heaven was distilling that sorrow into something powerful. Just as olives must be crushed to release their oil, so too your life was pressed. Just as grapes must be squeezed to release wine, so too your soul was broken open. And yet from the crushing came something beautiful, something holy, something that cannot be manufactured by ease. The prophet David wrote in the Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, "Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning." This scripture is not just poetic, it is prophetic. It means that your nights of weeping were not the end of the story. The morning was always coming, and with it came joy. The tears that watered your pillow were not wasted, they were seeds. Seeds of joy, seeds of destiny, seeds of anointing. When you wept, you sowed, and what you will reap will be far greater than what you lost. Beloved, this is the mystery of your story, what the enemy meant for destruction. God is turning into oil. The very pain that almost crushed you is becoming the fragrance of your calling. The tears you thought no one saw are becoming rivers of anointing that will refresh others. You are not simply surviving, you are becoming a wellspring. Do you notice how people around you feel something when you walk into the room? They sense an atmosphere, a weight, a presence. It is not your personality or charisma, it is the oil. It is what was produced when heaven took your tears and converted them into glory. You carry something now that you did not carry before. That is why the enemy fought so hard to destroy you, because he knew what would be birthed out of your pain. Think of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, where his sweat fell like drops of blood. Gethsemane means oil press. It was there, in the crushing, that the anointing for the cross and resurrection was released. In the same way, your Gethsemane moments, those nights of agony, became the place where heaven produced oil from your life. The press was not punishment, it was preparation. Chosen one. This is why you must not despise your tears. They were never a sign of weakness. They were the evidence of your humanity colliding with God's divinity. They were the place where your heart poured itself out and heaven poured something back in. Every tear was noticed. Every tear was recorded. And every tear has been transformed. Now, when you pray for others, they will feel something deeper. When you speak, your words will carry unusual weight. When you lay hands, power will flow. Why? Because your ministry is not built on theory, it is built on tears. Your anointing is not borrowed, it is purchased in the secret place of pain. Your authority is not superficial, it is carved into you by the hand of God Himself. Beloved, do not think for a moment that your sorrow disqualified you. On the contrary, it qualified you. Many run after platforms, but God chose to meet you in the shadows. Many seek recognition, but God gave you revelation. And now, the oil of your life will flow not just for you, but for others who desperately need it. You may ask, why me? Why did I have to suffer so much? And the answer, though mysterious, is clear because God trusted you. He knew that though you would weep, you would not quit. Though you would bend, you would not break. Though you would question, you would not abandon Him. And because you endured, He entrusted you with oil. The nations will drink from what was produced in your suffering. Families will be healed. Hearts will be restored. Chains will break. All because you allowed your tears to fall in God's presence. You gave Him your sorrow, and He gave you oil. Beloved chosen one, let this truth sink deeply. The very thing you thought disqualified you is the thing that set you apart. Your pain became your consecration. Your tears became your commissioning. Your wounds became your authority. This is why you cannot live as though you are ordinary. You are not. You carry oil too costly to be hidden. Heaven shook because of your tears, but not in pity. It shook in reverence. It shook in awe that you did not give up. Angels marveled that in the crushing you chose God still. Hell trembled because it realized it could not destroy you. And now the fragrance of your oil rises like incense before the throne. Walk in this truth. Chosen one, Do not let shame silence you. Do not let regret chain you. Every drop of sorrow has been redeemed. Every season of despair has been rewritten. And every tear that fell in silence has become oil that will light lamps in the darkness. Your life is not a story of tragedy, it is a story of transformation. The oil proves it. The joy that comes in the morning proves it. And the anointing on your life will continue to prove it as you walk forward, carrying what heaven has given you. Chosen one. There is a sacred moment unfolding in your life right now. You may not feel it fully, but heaven has shifted your season. You are stepping out of a chapter of silence and stepping into a chapter of revelation. The signs are subtle but undeniable. You sense a stirring deep within your spirit, a call to rise, a voice whispering that something new has begun. That whisper is not your imagination, it is the sound of heaven announcing your next chapter. For so long, you endured seasons that seemed endless. Days blurred into nights, and the waiting seemed unbearable. You prayed, and the heavens felt closed. You knocked, but the doors did not open. You wondered if perhaps you were forgotten, overlooked, or abandoned. But the truth is, none of those things were true. Heaven was not ignoring you, it was preparing you. The silence was not punishment, it was cultivation. And now, chosen one, the time has come for unveiling. The prophet Isaiah declared in the writings of chapter 43, verse 19, "See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Do you hear the power in these words? God is not asking you to labor for something that is dead. He is commanding you to perceive what is alive. He is urging you to see what is already springing forth. The streams are already flowing. The path is already carved. The doors are already opening. You are not waiting on heaven. Heaven has been waiting on you to recognize that the season has shifted. Chosen one, this is your moment to embrace the new. What once defined you no longer holds power over you. The labels, the wounds, the mistakes, they were real, but they are no longer your name. You are not bound to who you were in the past. You are chosen to walk in who God says you are now. That is the sound of the new thing springing forth. Heaven shook when you refused to die in the silence. Now, heaven is roaring as you step into the fresh waters of destiny. The wilderness you once wandered is being transformed into a garden. The wasteland you thought would swallow you is about to bloom. Streams are appearing where there was once only dust. Hope is rising where despair once ruled. But this moment is not automatic, it is prophetic. It requires agreement. Heaven has declared it, but earth must echo it. You must declare with your mouth what your spirit already perceives. You must step into agreement, because agreement seals the promise. That is why I invite you now to respond with a prophetic act. Do not dismiss it as small, because prophetic actions unlock prophetic realities. This is the call. Comment 555 below. And hear me, this number is not random. The number 555 represents divine grace multiplied. Abundant favor poured out in overflowing measure. It is a sign of transition, of stepping from the old into the new, of being carried by grace into places you could not reach on your own. When you comment 555, you are declaring, I receive the new season. I embrace the streams in the wilderness. I align myself with grace that multiplies. Do you see how important this is? By typing those three numbers, You are not just engaging with a message, you are marking your agreement with heaven. You are saying, I perceive the new thing. I believe it is springing forth. I refuse to cling to the old wilderness when God is making streams in my desert. That declaration carries power. Beloved, this moment is too holy to ignore. The new chapter does not begin when you feel ready. It begins when you declare it. Your yes, your agreement, your act of faith is what shifts it from unseen promise into lived reality. That is why heaven is calling you to respond. That is why this moment feels different. Consider how far you have come. You survived nights that should have destroyed you. You carried burdens that would have broken others. You endured silence that could have suffocated your faith. But now you are standing at the threshold of newness. Heaven is unveiling streams in your desert, and grace is multiplying over your life. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where what once resisted you will release you, where doors that were locked will swing open, where people who dismissed you will witness your rising, where your pain will become the platform for testimony, where your scars will become signs of healing for others. This is the season of the new, the season of multiplied grace, the season of fulfillment. Do not hold back. Do not cling to the old. Do not fear the unknown. The God who carried you through the wilderness is the same God who is now leading you into gardens of promise. The same mercy that sustained you in silence is the same mercy now shouting, Behold, I am doing a new thing, beloved chosen one. The heavens have already shifted. Now it is your turn to align. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Mark this moment as holy. Declare your agreement with heaven. Step boldly into your new chapter, because streams are already flowing, and the path is already open before you. Comment now, 555. Chosen one. Let your heart be still for a moment and consider the unseen battle that has been raging around you. There are wars fought that you never witnessed, conflicts that your natural eyes could not perceive, yet they were real and fierce. The battlefield was not on the ground beneath your feet, but in the realms above and around you. Angels clashed with darkness, warring on your behalf, preserving your destiny, even when you had no idea a fight was happening. There were days when you felt exhausted for no clear reason, moments when heaviness descended on you like a cloak, and you could not explain why. You thought perhaps it was only stress, only fatigue, only emotion. But in reality, your spirit was feeling the tremors of battles being fought in the unseen. While you carried out the ordinary details of your day, warriors of light were contending with powers of darkness that wanted to suffocate your hope, derail your path, and snuff out your flame. Do you not realize, chosen one, how precious you are that heaven would assign armies to you? You are not just a number in the crowd. You are not just another name. You are a chosen one, marked for purpose so great that heaven itself has invested angels to ensure you remain. Even when you strayed, even when you doubted, even when you stumbled, the battle did not stop. Heaven still contended for you. The ancient words recorded in Daniel, chapter 10, verse 12, still echo with relevance. Then he continued, Do not be afraid, Daniel. Since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. This verse reveals a mystery: your prayers were never ignored. From the very first whisper, from the very first cry of your heart, Heaven responded, yet there were delays, not because God did not hear, but because opposition tried to block the answer. Even Daniel, a prophet beloved by God, experienced resistance in the unseen. Angels were dispatched, but battles raged in the heavens before the breakthrough arrived. And so it has been for you. Every prayer you prayed, every tear you shed, every word you spoke to God, it was recorded. And heaven responded, but opposition rose, and angels warred to carry your answers through. The heaviness you felt, the resistance you battled, was not proof of silence, but evidence of warfare. The enemy feared what would happen if those prayers were answered. The darkness tried to delay. But delay is not denial. Heaven does not forget. Beloved, let this bring you comfort. You were never fighting alone. You may have thought you were. But the truth is that the unseen realm was crowded with allies. Angels have stood guard over you, contended for your destiny, whispered strength into your weary soul. Every time you thought you were too weak to go on, their presence fortified you. Every time you thought the night would swallow you whole, their light pierced the shadows. The warfare you faced was not a sign that you were abandoned, it was the greatest sign that you were valuable. No army wastes its time on what is worthless. The greater the warfare, the greater the treasure being guarded. Your destiny is so weighty, your calling so costly, that heaven has had to dispatch protection continually. That alone should tell you that you are not ordinary. Think of the moments you escaped, dangers you did not anticipate, the accident that didn't happen, the opportunity that didn't destroy you, the relationship that ended before it could break you, the sickness that didn't finish you. You may have thought it was chance, but heaven knows it was strategy. Angels intervened. They redirected. They shielded. They pushed back darkness that wanted to steal you before your time. Chosen one, understand this. The battle is not a curse, it is confirmation. It confirms that you carry something worth fighting for. It confirms that you are not aimless, you are targeted. It confirms that you are chosen. And chosen ones are always contested. That is why you feel resistance others do not. That is why your path seems heavier. But take courage, for resistance is proof that heaven is moving, even when you felt weary. Heaven did not tire, even when you doubted. Heaven did not waver, even when you gave up for a moment. Heaven did not stop fighting for you. And the victory, it was not only theirs, it was yours too. Because every battle won in the unseen has preserved you for this very moment. Do not fear the warfare. Do not resent it. Learn to see it for what it is: evidence of value, proof of purpose, testimony of calling. And remember this, no matter how fierce the battle, the outcome is already sealed. The cross of Christ secured victory that cannot be undone. The blood speaks louder than accusations, louder than curses, louder than opposition. Beloved, your role in this unseen battlefield is to keep standing, to keep praying even when you feel nothing, to keep believing even when you see no evidence, to keep walking even when the ground shakes beneath you. Every step you take in faith strengthens the angels warring on your behalf. Every prayer you whisper fuels heaven's intervention. Every act of obedience sharpens the sword of those fighting for you. And know this, you are not just protected, you are also being trained. The unseen battles you have survived are teaching your hands for war and your fingers for battle. They are building endurance in you. fortifying your spirit, and preparing you to lead others into victory. You are not only a survivor, you are being shaped into a warrior who will one day stand on behalf of others. Beloved chosen one, you are not fragile. You are fortified. You are not overlooked. You are defended. You are not weak. You are strengthened by armies you cannot see. And the battles you have survived are proof that your story is far from over. Heaven has fought too hard for you to be silenced now. So, lift your eyes. Know that the unseen battlefield has already been shaken by your perseverance. You stand today not because you are unscarred, but because heaven fought for you. And if heaven has invested this much in you, then surely your destiny is greater than you can imagine. Chosen one, it is time for you to understand what truly happened when the enemy lost ground in your life. For so long, darkness claimed authority over your path. It whispered lies that shaped how you saw yourself, how you spoke, and even how you prayed. The enemy tried to convince you that your story would always be marked by defeat, that your destiny would always be delayed, that your identity would always be buried. Yet, in the unseen, something shifted. Heaven's authority clashed with hell's deception, and the ground the enemy once occupied was shaken and stripped away. What you must recognize is that the enemy never had rightful ownership over you. He only occupied territory by deception. He used guilt to build his walls, shame to tighten his grip, and fear to blind your vision. But when you began to align with truth, when you said yes to God, the lies lost their power. What once felt permanent suddenly crumbled. The chains you thought could never break dissolved in the fire of revelation. It is written in the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 15, "And having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross." This verse is not a theory, it is your story. Christ disarmed the enemy long before you knew his name. The powers that sought to enslave you were already stripped of their authority. When you stepped into his victory, you claimed ground that was already secured by his blood. That is why the enemy trembled when you rose again after every fall. That is why the atmosphere shifted when you declared truth over yourself. You were not fighting for victory, you were fighting from victory. Beloved, think carefully. How many times did you believe it was over for you? How many times did you think the enemy had won, that you had failed beyond repair? And yet, here you are, the evidence that his grip was broken, the living proof that his hold has been shattered. Every breath you take, every prayer you whisper, every act of obedience you walk in, is another reminder that the enemy lost ground. The darkness fought hard to keep you in patterns of despair. It pressed against your mind with heaviness, against your body with weariness, against your spirit with doubt. But every time you resisted, the grip loosened. Every time you confessed truth, the shadows receded. Every time you stood when you felt like collapsing, heaven advanced and darkness retreated. Do not underestimate what has taken place in your life. Ground has shifted. Curses have broken. Patterns have dissolved. The territory the enemy thought he owned is no longer his. You are no longer walking under his authority. You are walking under God's. And every step you take in that authority sends tremors through the kingdom of darkness. Beloved, imagine a battlefield where one army retreats and another takes its place. That is what has happened in your story. Where once despair ruled, hope now reigns. Where once lies dictated your choices, Truth now guides your steps. Where once shame silenced your voice, boldness now rises. This is not theory, it is reality. The enemy has been forced to retreat, and heaven has claimed victory over your life. But the story does not end with retreat. When the enemy loses ground, he often tries to circle back with whispers of doubt. He attempts to convince you that his defeat was temporary, that you will slip back into old patterns, that your freedom is fragile. Do not listen. Chosen one, his words are empty. His threats are hollow. His grip has been broken, and he cannot rebuild what God has destroyed. This is why your awareness is so important. You must remember what ground has been taken. You must recall the victories already won. When lies attempt to creep back in, you answer with truth. When fear tries to rise, you answer with faith. When shame knocks on the door, you answer with grace. This is how you hold the ground that has already been won. Consider your life now compared to years ago. Do you not see the difference? Do you not sense the weight that has lifted, the habits that no longer control you, the fears that no longer define you, the despair that no longer consumes you? These are all signs that the enemy lost ground. Heaven did not just protect you, heaven advanced through you. Beloved chosen one, you are a walking testimony of victory. Your very presence disrupts darkness because you carry the light of one who triumphed. This is why the enemy cannot ignore you. Every step you take reminds him of the defeat he suffered at the cross. Every prayer you pray is a declaration that the ground belongs to God. Every act of obedience is a banner lifted high over conquered territory. And now, this authority is not just for you, it flows through you. Others will encounter freedom because of your testimony. Others will walk in victory because you already broke the ground. Others will taste liberty because you paved the way. The land you reclaimed from darkness becomes a path for others to follow. So walk boldly. Beloved, do not question whether the enemy still owns you. He does not. Do not wonder if his chains can bind you again. They cannot. Do not fear his threats. They are empty. The ground has shifted, and your destiny is secure. Heaven shook when the enemy lost ground in your life, and the echo of that shaking will continue to ripple through generations. You are proof of triumph. You are evidence of redemption. You are the sound of victory in the earth, and the enemy can do nothing to change that. Chosen one, you must hear this with clarity. The battles you have fought, the scars you carry, and the victories you now walk in were never for nothing. Every struggle has birthed authority. Every tear has watered a testimony. Every yes you gave to God has multiplied into a harvest that cannot be erased. Heaven has been recording your story with reverence, and now the time has come to declare it boldly. Do you remember how silent those nights were, the moments you wondered if prayer was wasted breath, if endurance was worth the cost? Yet, even in those quiet valleys, you were shaping something eternal. You may not have realized it then, but those moments were building an altar in heaven, and today, that altar testifies. Heaven itself is echoing your name, declaring that you stood where others fell, that you endured where others surrendered. The ancient words written in Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11 declare, "They triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony. They did not love life." This verse is not just a prophecy of the saints long ago, it is your reality now. You have triumphed not because you were flawless, but because you clung to the Lamb. You have overcome not because you were never afraid, but because you refused to let fear silence your testimony. You are standing today because the blood of Christ has spoken louder than every accusation, and your testimony is becoming a weapon against darkness. Beloved chosen one, testimonies are not meant to be buried. They are meant to be declared. When you share what God has done, you are not boasting in yourself, you are boasting in His faithfulness. When you open your mouth to speak of your journey, you silence the lies of the enemy. Your testimony is a sword, and every time you use it, chains break in the lives of others. That is why this moment is so important. You are being called to act, not just to receive. You are being called to declare, not just to reflect. And one of the ways you can do this is through simple, intentional steps that create ripples far beyond what you see. Beloved, if this word has spoken to you, if you feel heaven's fire burning in your spirit as you read, then I ask you, like this message. Why? Because every act of agreement matters. A like is not about algorithms, it is about alignment. It is about saying, yes, I hear this. Yes, I agree with this. Yes, this is my testimony. Do not underestimate the power of agreement, even in something as simple as pressing a button, and share this message. Not everyone who needs to hear this will find it unless someone shares it. You have people in your life who are walking through valleys right now, who are crying silent tears, who are on the brink of surrender. Your act of sharing may be the very thing that brings them back from the edge. It is more than social media. It is sowing seeds of deliverance into someone else's story. Beloved, I also invite you to comment. Do not stay silent. Darkness thrives in silence, but it flees when testimonies are spoken. Write your agreement in the comments. It can be simple. It can be brief. But let it be real. Let it be your voice joining the chorus of heaven that already whispers your name. Each comment becomes a declaration in the atmosphere, an echo that others can join, a reminder that you are not alone. And yes, subscribe, not for numbers, not for applause, but for connection. When you subscribe, you are choosing to stay near the stream that keeps your spirit aligned with heaven's call. You are saying, I will not walk this path alone. I will remain connected to the remnant rising with me. Beloved, this is not about entertainment. It is about equipping. It is about walking as a community of the chosen, standing shoulder to shoulder in the battles of this age. Think about it this way: every like, every share, every comment, every subscription, it is not about you alone. It is about multiplying the testimony. It is about turning your private victory into a public declaration that can break chains for others. It is about carrying the flame you received into places you may never personally go, to people you may never personally meet. Beloved, chosen one, heaven is inviting you to move beyond silence. Heaven is urging you to release what has been placed in you. The ground has already been shaken by your obedience. Now let the earth hear the sound of your agreement. Do not hide what God has done. Do not minimize your story. Declare it boldly. Share it freely. Release it openly. Because here is the truth. Your testimony is not just for you. It is for the person who feels like quitting. It is for the soul who thinks God has forgotten them. It is for the heart that wonders if the night will ever end. When you declare your victory, you become the voice of hope for someone else. You become the reminder that God is still faithful. that mercy is still real, that heaven is still shaking in response to obedience. So, beloved, step into this call with courage. Heaven is already celebrating your victories. Hell is already trembling at your testimony. Now let the world hear it too. Like, share, comment, subscribe, not as routine, but as a holy act of agreement. Do it because your voice matters. Do it because your story matters. Do it because your obedience carries weight far beyond yourself. You are chosen. You are marked. And your testimony is a weapon. Lift it high. Declare it boldly. And let the sound of your agreement join the roar of heaven that already whispers your name. Chosen one, from the very beginning of your journey. You have carried a mark invisible to most eyes, but undeniable in the unseen. This mark was not placed on you by men, nor was it earned through human striving. It was heaven's seal, placed upon your spirit by the hand of God Himself. This seal is the reason you cannot blend in, the reason you feel set apart, the reason darkness reacts when you walk into a room. You are marked by fire. This fire is not the destructive kind that consumes without purpose. It is the refining fire, the holy flame of God's Spirit, purifying you, sealing you, and declaring to every realm that you belong to Him. Fire has always been heaven's language of consecration. It fell on the altar in the days of old, consuming sacrifices and declaring them acceptable to God. It appeared as a pillar, guiding the people of Israel by night. It rested as tongues upon the disciples in the upper room, marking them as carriers of the Spirit. And now, beloved, it marks you. It is written in the book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 5. I myself will be a wall of fire around it, declares the Lord, and I will be its glory within. This is the reality of your life. You are surrounded by a wall of fire, not a fire that destroys you, but one that protects you, not a flame that consumes your life, but one that shields it. The fire of God declares to every power of darkness, this one is untouchable. This one is chosen. This one carries the glory within. Think of how many times destruction tried to reach you but failed. Accidents that should have ended you. Words that should have crushed you. Attacks that should have undone you. Yet every time, the fire stood between you and harm. The wall of flame is why you are still standing. It is why you survived storms others could not. It is why your destiny is intact even after the fiercest warfare. Beloved, chosen one, fire also purifies. You wondered why certain relationships could not stay, why certain desires burned out, why certain doors shut before you could walk through them. It was the fire refining you. What could not endure the flame was never meant for your journey. What was consumed in the blaze was not loss, it was deliverance. The fire made room for holiness, room for clarity, room for purpose. And though the fire felt painful at times, it was never meant to destroy you. The refining of God's flame is always with intention. Just as gold is purified by fire, so too your spirit was being refined. Impurities surfaced and were removed, leaving you stronger, clearer, and more radiant than before. The heat you felt in trials was not abandonment, it was consecration. This fire also marks you with authority. Darkness recognizes it instantly. That is why resistance seems stronger around you than around others. That is why you feel spiritual warfare in atmospheres that others find ordinary. The enemy knows what you carry. He sees the flame and trembles. He knows the seal and panics. The fire on your life is not a suggestion, it is a declaration you are set apart for holy purpose. Beloved, let this truth sink deeply into your spirit. You are not common. You are not ordinary. You are not interchangeable. You are marked. The mark of fire means you carry something that cannot be extinguished. It means you have been chosen as a vessel of His glory. It means you are a walking testimony of heaven's power. Think of the disciples after Pentecost. Ordinary men and women who suddenly carried extraordinary fire. Their words pierced hearts. Their shadows healed the sick. Their prayers shook prison doors. What changed? It was the mark of fire upon their lives. And just as it was with them, so it is with you. The fire has marked you for impact that is beyond your comprehension. But with this fire comes responsibility. You cannot live as though you are unmarked. You cannot walk in compromise when the flame burns so brightly upon you. To carry fire is to carry accountability. To carry fire is to walk in reverence. To carry fire is to remember daily that you are heaven's representative on earth. Beloved chosen one, do not fear the fire. Embrace it. Let it purify what needs to go. Let it protect you from what should not stay. Let it empower you for what lies ahead. The fire of God is not a curse, it is your crown. It is the visible evidence in the invisible world that you are His. There will be times when others misunderstand you, when they sense the weight of what you carry and cannot explain it. Do not let their confusion diminish your fire. There will be moments when you feel the intensity of warfare pressing against you more than those around you. Do not let that trick you into believing you are weak. The warfare only proves the fire is real. Beloved, the mark of fire is both a shield and a sign. It protects you from what is behind and announces what is ahead. It declares that you are set apart. It declares that your destiny is sealed. It declares that your life will carry the glory of God into places where darkness thought it reigned unchallenged. So, walk boldly in this truth. You do not need to apologize for the fire. You do not need to hide it to make others comfortable. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to burn. You were never meant to fade. You were meant to shine. You were never meant to be silent. You were meant to roar with a flame that speaks without words. Heaven shook when you were marked, and hell trembled when the fire fell upon your life. Nothing can change that. No scheme of man, no plot of darkness, no whisper of fear can extinguish the flame. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are marked by fire, and that fire will carry you until the end. Chosen one, consider carefully what rests in your hands. You may see only ordinary tools, daily responsibilities, or small acts of service. Yet in heaven's eyes, your hands carry extraordinary weight. They have been consecrated for impact, marked for transformation, destined to touch lives in ways you may never fully realize. What you touch now is no longer common. It carries the fragrance of eternity. There was a time when you doubted the value of your own actions. You believed your efforts were too small, too hidden, too insignificant to matter. But in truth, every action you placed in God's hands became multiplied. Every seed you sowed, every word of kindness you spoke, every prayer you prayed has gone further than you know. Your hands have been turned into instruments of heaven. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 17, "May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us, establish the work of our hands for us, yes, establish the work of our hands. This prayer of David is being fulfilled in your life. The work of your hands is not fragile. It is established. It is reinforced by heaven's favor. It is covered by divine authority. What you touch now has the potential to bloom far beyond your imagination. Because it is not just your strength at work, it is God's Spirit flowing through you. Think of Moses when he stood before the Red Sea, holding nothing but a staff. In the natural, it was an ordinary object, but in God's hands, it became a weapon of deliverance. With that staff, seas parted, enemies drowned, and a nation was led into freedom. Beloved, the same principle rests upon your life. The ordinary tools in your hands are extraordinary when surrendered to God. Your hands may prepare meals, write words, build structures, create art, hold children, or simply offer comfort. But when surrendered, those same hands become carriers of miracles. Do not underestimate their reach. Do not minimize their worth. Heaven recognizes the oil upon them. Chosen one. Your hands are also instruments of healing. When you extend them in compassion, when you reach out to lift another, when you embrace someone in their pain, heaven flows through you. You may not see it immediately, but healing power is released in those moments. Your touch becomes a reminder that God is near, and your hands are weapons of warfare. Every time you lift them in worship, chains break. Every time you fold them in prayer, strongholds are weakened. Every time you stretch them toward heaven, authority is released. Do not think your hands are idle. They are active in realms beyond sight. Beloved, remember also that your hands have been through fire. They carry scars. They carry memories of work that felt fruitless, of battles that left you weary, of seasons where you built only to see things crumble. But even the scars tell a story. They testify that you endured. They prove that you did not quit. And now, those same hands that once trembled with exhaustion are steady with strength. Your destiny is tied to what you carry in your hands. The dreams, the skills, the callings placed within you are not accidents. They are assignments. They are tools heaven intends to use for glory. Perhaps you feel what you hold is small, but when multiplied by God, the small becomes significant. Just as a boy's lunch fed thousands, so too your offering will feed nations. Beloved chosen one, you must also guard your hands. What is consecrated must not be defiled. Do not allow your hands to grasp what is unholy. Do not let them be used for compromise. Your hands are too valuable to build what heaven is not building. Keep them clean. Keep them lifted. Keep them surrendered. For when you do, heaven will continue to establish the work you place before him. Reflect for a moment on what your hands have already accomplished. Think of the prayers they have written in journals, the seeds they have planted, the burdens they have carried, the people they have served. Heaven has recorded it all. Nothing was wasted. Every motion, every labor, every sacrifice was etched into eternity. Even when no one applauded, heaven celebrated. Even when no one noticed, heaven remembered. This is why the enemy has tried to weary your hands. He wanted you to stop building, to stop sowing, to stop reaching. He whispered lies that your work was in vain, that your prayers were powerless, that your actions were meaningless. But here you are still building, still sowing, still reaching, And that alone is proof that your hands are established. Beloved, your future is secure not because you hold it tightly, but because God holds you. And as long as your hands remain surrendered, everything you touch will carry eternal weight. Your work will outlive you. Your impact will echo across generations. Your legacy will be a testimony of hands that chose faithfulness over ease, surrender over pride, and obedience over fear. So, walk with confidence. Lift your hands without shame. Use them boldly, whether in service or in battle, whether in creation or in prayer. You are a chosen vessel, and your hands are extensions of heaven's will. Remember this truth always: your hands may look ordinary, but in God's eyes, they blaze with light. They carry authority. They release power. They build kingdoms. They are not just hands, they are holy instruments marked for eternal purpose. Chosen one, you have walked through seasons that felt endless. You endured days when hope was faint, when the weight on your shoulders seemed unbearable, when the prayers you whispered felt like they vanished into silence. Yet, even in those moments, heaven was weaving something eternal into your life. What you did not see then is beginning to reveal itself. Now you are stepping into a season of double portion, a season where the losses of yesterday will be redeemed with increase. This is not empty encouragement, it is prophecy spoken over your journey. For every tear, there is a harvest of joy. For every battle, there is a crown of victory. For every loss, there is a restoration multiplied. You did not endure in vain. The years you thought were wasted were seeds planted in hidden soil, waiting for the appointed season to bloom. And that season is here. It is written in the book of Job. Chapter 42, verse 10. After Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. Beloved, do you see the depth of this word? Job's story is not just history, it is a mirror of your own. What was stripped, what was broken, what was lost will not remain in ashes. Restoration is heaven's decree over you. And not just restoration, but multiplication. What was taken will return in double. What the enemy thought he buried will rise twice as strong. You may ask, but how can this be? I lost so much. I wasted so much time. I burned so many bridges. Yet here is the truth. What you thought was wasted is already being redeemed. Heaven does not merely restore what was lost, it multiplies what remains. God takes the fragments, the ashes, the scars, and transforms them into something greater than what you once had. Your story will not end in subtraction, it will end in overflow. Beloved chosen one, this is why your endurance was so important. If you had surrendered in the wilderness, you would never have reached the harvest. If you had given up in the valley, you would never have seen the mountain. Your persistence, though costly, has positioned you for the reward. Heaven has already decreed that your later days will carry more glory than your former ones. Consider this when you rise. You are not rising alone. Your restoration carries weight for others as well. Just as Job's restoration became a testimony for generations, so too will yours. People who thought nothing good could come of their ashes will see your story and believe again. Families who thought their legacy was ruined will look at you and find hope. Nations bound in despair will witness your increase and know that God still restores. Beloved, the double portion is not only about material things, it is about influence. authority, peace, and joy. Where once anxiety ruled, peace will reign. Where once shame silenced you, boldness will speak. Where once despair marked your steps, joy will become your rhythm. The double portion is about becoming whole, becoming fruitful, becoming a vessel overflowing with what heaven pours into you. But this promise, like all promises, requires agreement. Heaven has declared it, but earth must echo it. That is why in this holy moment you are invited to seal your alignment with a prophetic act. Comment 888 below. Why this number? Because 888 represents resurrection, new beginnings, and the abundance of eternal promise. It is the number of Christ's name in ancient symbolism, the fullness of grace that multiplies beyond measure. When you type 888, you are not writing empty digits, you are declaring, I agree with heaven's decree. I step into restoration. I embrace the double portion. I align myself with resurrection life. Beloved, understand the weight of this. You are not just agreeing with words on a page. You are declaring into the unseen realm that you will no longer live in lack, that you will no longer identify with loss, that you will no longer bow to despair. You are announcing that restoration is your inheritance, multiplication is your portion, and abundance is your story. Think of what will shift when you agree. The atmosphere around your home will change. The heaviness in your heart will lift. The lies of the enemy will be silenced. Chains will fall, and doors will open. Because agreement is not small, it is spiritual warfare. It is a declaration that what God has spoken cannot be revoked. Chosen one. This is not about emotion. It is about alignment. Heaven is already rejoicing over your restoration. Angels already whisper your name as one marked for increase. Now earth must echo. Now your voice must seal what heaven has decreed. Do not dismiss this moment. Do not say, I will wait and see. The time for waiting has passed. The season of restoration is here. The streams are flowing. The doors are opening. The crown is prepared. All that remains is your agreement. Lift your head. Beloved, the double portion is not a theory, it is your inheritance. The fire you endured has purified you. The storms you weathered have strengthened you, and the silence you endured has prepared you. Now the rain of blessing is coming. Now the harvest is ready. Now the restoration is unfolding. Type it. Believe it. Declare it 888. Chosen one. There is a profound mystery at work in your story, one that reveals the power of God's authorship. You have lived through seasons that felt like torn pages, chapters ripped from the book of your life, moments where the ink seemed to run with tears instead of promises. At times, you believed the story was ruined, that your mistakes had disqualified you, that your failures had written the final line. Yet heaven had a different perspective. God, the author of time itself, never surrendered his pen. He never stopped writing, and in his hands, even your detours have become doorways to destiny. Think about it. You may look back and see choices you regret, seasons of rebellion, or stretches of silence where you walked away from his voice. But even then, heaven did not discard your manuscript. God is the master author, and he has the authority to rewrite. Where you wrote shame, he writes grace. Where you wrote defeat, He writes victory, where you wrote the end. He writes to be continued. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 13. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot disown himself. Beloved, this verse is your lifeline. Even when your faith faltered, God's faithfulness never wavered. Even when you stopped believing, he kept believing in the story he wrote for you. Even when you wanted to close the book, his Spirit kept the pages turning. You cannot erase what he has decreed. His pen is stronger than your failures. Consider the depth of this. Your mistakes have not ruined your destiny. They have become woven into the tapestry of your testimony. The very chapters you thought disqualified, you are the ones that reveal his mercy most clearly. Your broken places are not wasted. They are where his glory shines brightest. Just as gold is more valuable when refined, so too is your life more radiant when redemption has rewritten your darkest pages. Beloved chosen one, reflect on Joseph's story. Betrayed by brothers, enslaved in Egypt, imprisoned by false accusation, his life seemed like one shattered chapter after another. But God was writing all along, and when the story reached its peak, Joseph himself declared, "What you intended for evil, God intended for good. So it is with you." The pages of pain are being transformed into testimonies of triumph. Do not believe the lie that your detours mean delay without purpose. Every road you traveled, even the ones you regret, has been redeemed. God does not waste anything. He is the author who can take scribbles of chaos and turn them into poetry. He can take broken paragraphs and craft them into prophecy. He can take torn pages and bind them into a story of restoration. Beloved, imagine your life as a scroll unrolled in heaven. Angels read the lines, not with disappointment, but with awe. They marvel at how God has taken ashes and written beauty, how he has taken pain and written purpose, how he has taken rebellion and written redemption. The heavenly witnesses are not focused on your scars, they are focused on the glory those scars reveal. This is why heaven shook when God rewrote your script. The enemy thought he had won. He thought the failures were final, the mistakes permanent, the shame irreversible. But when God stepped in with his pen, everything changed. What was meant to destroy you became the foundation for a greater chapter. What was meant to silence you became the stage for your testimony. What was meant to bury you became the soil for resurrection. Chosen one, you must learn to release the old script. Stop rereading the chapters that God has already redeemed. Stop clutching the pages of regret as if they are still your identity. They are not. They have been rewritten, redefined, reclaimed. You are not who you once were. You are who God says you are: chosen, redeemed, called, anointed. And as you release the old, embrace the new. Step into the chapters being written now, chapters filled with authority, joy, and purpose. You no longer walk under the shadow of what was. You walk in the light of what is and what will be. The ink of heaven's promises flows freely across your life, and no force of darkness can blot it out. Beloved, let this truth strengthen you. God's pen does not run out of ink. His creativity does not run dry. His mercy does not expire. No matter how many times you stumble, he continues to write. No matter how many times you fall, he continues to lift. No matter how many times you doubt, he continues to declare. His authorship is eternal, and his story for you cannot be undone. Remember also that your story is not just about you. Others will read the pages of your life and find hope for their own. Your testimony will become their map, your scars their encouragement, your victories their proof that God still writes new beginnings. You are a living book, a walking scroll, a testimony inscribed not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God. Beloved chosen one, walk boldly with this awareness. Do not fear the unfinished chapters. Do not mourn the lost ones. Do not cling to the broken ones. Trust the author. He has already seen the ending, and it is glorious. He has already written the climax, and it is filled with victory. He has already declared the conclusion, and it is eternal life with him. Lift your head, for your story is not ruined, it is redeemed. The script has been rewritten by the hand of God, and every line carries purpose. Heaven has already shaken in awe of the rewriting, and earth will one day see the full masterpiece unveiled. Until then, keep turning the pages. Keep trusting the author. Keep walking in the story that only he could write. Chosen one, there is a sacred reality you must embrace. You are not walking this path alone. From the very first moment you surrendered your heart to God, you were drawn into something bigger than yourself. You became part of a remnant, a company of believers marked, sealed, and chosen for this hour. This is not about religion, it is about alignment. Not about performance, it is about destiny. You are called to walk in unity with those who carry the same flame, to strengthen one another, to rise together as a holy army. This truth has been echoing since the earliest days of Scripture. Again and again, God reserved a remnant, a faithful few who would not bow to idols, who would not compromise their faith, who would carry his name even in the face of ridicule and opposition. Today, you are part of that same lineage. You are not merely a believer, you are a remnant carrier. You are not alone. Every step you take carries the legacy of those who went before you. The remnant is more than a title, it is humble responsibility, delegated power, a covenant between you and God. The heavens witness and rejoice over you. Stand firm and connect with those who carry the same flame. Every prayer and small act strengthens the movement. You are part of a greater plan. Do not abandon the post you were given. Offer glory to him each day. The Apostle Paul wrote in Romans, chapter 11, verse 5. So too, at the present time, there is a remnant chosen by grace. This is your identity, not chosen by human effort, not marked by earthly qualifications, chosen by grace. You are part of the company heaven has preserved for such a time as this. You are the evidence that God still sets people apart to carry his glory in a generation drowning in noise. Beloved, this means your battles have meaning. The warfare you endure is not random, it is because of what you carry. The remnant always faces resistance, because the remnant always holds the future. That is why your path has been heavier, your fire hotter, your valleys deeper. You are not being punished, you are being purified. You are not being crushed, you are being consecrated. But here is the beauty, though the battles are fierce, you are not fighting alone. The remnant walks together. Heaven is gathering chosen ones from every corner of the earth, weaving them into a tapestry of purpose. And you, beloved, are part of that fabric. You may feel isolated at times, but you are not forgotten. You may feel hidden, But you are not alone. Heaven is uniting you with those who carry the same flame, the same calling, the same anointing. This is why your voice matters. When you speak, others in the remnant hear and are strengthened. When you testify, chains break not only for you, but for those connected to you. When you endure, you give courage to others to endure as well. You are part of a divine network, unseen yet powerful, stitched together by grace and fire. Beloved, chosen one, the days ahead will require voices like yours, not voices seeking fame, but voices seeking truth, not voices chasing platforms, but voices carrying purity. You have been preserved for this. Your story, your testimony, your fire, it is needed now, and as you release it, others will find strength to rise. That is why I want to speak to you sincerely in this moment. If these words resonate in your spirit, if you know you are part of this remnant rising, then do not stay silent. Engage. Respond. Let heaven and earth hear your agreement. Like this message, not as a casual action, but as a prophetic declaration that you align yourself with the remnant call. Each like is a testimony in the unseen realm. An echo that says, I am here. I am chosen. I belong to the company of the faithful. Share this message. There are countless souls who feel isolated, who think they are walking alone, who believe they are the only ones still holding on. Your act of sharing could be the spark that reignites their flame. It could be the reminder they desperately need that they are not forgotten, that they too are part of this chosen company. Do not underestimate the power of one share. It can awaken another soldier of the remnant. And subscribe, beloved, not for numbers, not for vanity, but for connection. When you subscribe, you are choosing to remain plugged into a stream of words that keep your spirit aligned with heaven's rhythm. You are choosing to journey with others who are walking the same path, who understand the weight you carry, who can remind you of your identity when the battles grow fierce. Subscription is not about content, it is about covenant. It is about saying, I will stay connected to the flame. Chosen one, your yes today does more than you realize. Every like, every share, every subscription is not just an action on a screen, it is an act of agreement in the spirit. It multiplies the testimony. It strengthens the remnant. It declares that you are not silent, not hidden, not disconnected. You are part of the army that heaven is raising in this hour. Lift your head. Beloved, do not shrink back. You are not just surviving, you are part of a movement. You are not just enduring, you are advancing. Heaven shook when you said yes. And now, heaven rejoices as you align with the remnant rising. This is bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than any single voice. It is a divine symphony, and your part matters. Walk boldly in this. Carry the awareness that you are chosen by grace. Let your agreement resound, both in heaven and on earth. You are part of the remnant call, and your flame is needed now more than ever. So, stand tall. Declare your identity. Align with the movement, and let heaven's whisper become your roar. Chosen one. There are moments when the weight of your journey feels unexplainable. You look at others and wonder why their path seems lighter, why their battles seem smaller, why their nights don't echo with the same storms as yours. But what you must understand is this: the weight you carry is not a curse, it is a mantle. You were trusted with what others could not endure. Because heaven saw in you a resilience the enemy underestimated. The mantle is heavy, yes, but it is also holy. It represents authority, favor, and calling. Throughout Scripture, mantles were always a symbol of divine assignment. Elijah's cloak did not simply keep him warm, it carried prophetic weight. When it fell upon Elisha, it marked him as chosen to continue the work, to step into greater authority, to carry a double portion. So too, beloved, your mantle marks you as one called to carry what others cannot. But mantles are not inherited casually. They are received in fire, in testing, in perseverance. That is why your journey has been so intense. It has been the training ground where the mantle was prepared for you. The tears you cried were not wasted. They softened your heart for compassion. The storms you survived did not break you. They forged your authority. The silence you endured was not abandonment, it was consecration. Everything you walked through was heaven weaving your mantle. Scripture says in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 29, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." This is the paradox of your mantle, though heavy in calling. It carries rest for your soul. It does not crush you, it empowers you. It does not bind you, it releases you into who you were created to be. The weight you feel is not meant to suffocate, it is meant to align you with your true identity. Beloved, think of how many times you wanted to walk away, to lay down the mantle, to choose an easier road. And yet, every time, something inside you refused. That something was not stubbornness, it was destiny. The mantle cannot be shaken off because it was woven into your spirit before you were born. It is written into your DNA. It is the fingerprint of heaven upon your life. Do not resent the mantle. Embrace it, even when others do not understand, even when you feel isolated by its weight. Remember, you were chosen because heaven saw in you what others could not. You were trusted because you carry the capacity to endure. You were marked because your story is bigger than you realize. This is why your life feels different. This is why compromise feels heavier for you than for others. This is why silence presses deeper on you than on those around you. The mantle makes you sensitive to heaven's whispers, to the weight of eternity, to the urgency of the hour. You cannot live lightly because you carry something eternal. Chosen one. Mantles are not only for you, they are for others. Your calling will touch lives beyond your reach. Your obedience will shift atmospheres in places you may never visit. Your testimony will ignite faith in hearts you may never meet. That is the nature of a mantle. It carries impact beyond yourself. Do not despise the mantle, and do not compare it. Elijah's mantle was not Elisha's. Moses' rod was not Aaron's. David's sling was not Saul's sword. Each mantle is unique, tailored for the one who carries it. Yours may feel unusual, but it was crafted for you alone. No one else can walk in it. No one else can bear it. No one else can release its authority. Beloved, you may still feel unworthy. You may still question if you are truly enough. But let this truth settle in you. God does not make mistakes. He does not place mantles carelessly. If He chose you, it is because He equipped you. If He entrusted you, it is because He saw what you could not yet see. You are not unworthy, you are chosen. And now, in this holy moment, Heaven is calling you to agree with what has been placed upon you. Agreement seals identity. When you declare what you carry, the atmosphere shifts. That is why I call you to a prophetic act. Comment, I receive. It may look simple, but those two words carry weight. They are not casual, they are covenant. When you say, I receive, you are agreeing with the mantle heaven has placed upon you. You are declaring, I will not run from it. I will not deny it. I will not bury it. I receive what God has entrusted to me. And let me tell you, the enemy fears that declaration, because as long as you doubt the mantle, you hesitate in your authority. But the moment you receive it, you walk with power that cannot be silenced. You step into boldness that cannot be broken. You move with clarity that cannot be shaken. Beloved, do not let fear stop you. Do not let insecurity silence you. Do not let the opinions of others distract you. The mantle is real. The mantle is holy. The mantle is yours. And when you receive it, you will see doors open, atmospheres shift, and lives transformed. Lift your head. Chosen one. You are not crushed by this weight, you are crowned by it. You are not burdened by this calling, you are defined by it. You are not alone under this mantle, you are surrounded by heaven's armies. The same God who placed it upon you will sustain you within it. Declare it now with your words. Let the unseen realm hear it. Let heaven record it. Let hell tremble at it. Comment boldly, I receive. Chosen one. Pause and reflect on the journey behind you. Look at the valleys you crossed, the storms you weathered, the nights you thought would never end. If you trace the path carefully, you will notice something striking. You were never abandoned, even when you felt alone. A presence greater than your understanding carried you, even when your strength was gone. Unseen arms lifted you. You thought survival was your doing, but in truth, every step was sustained by mercy. The evidence of God's hand is woven all throughout your life. Remember the accident that never happened, the sickness that did not finish you, the betrayal that did not destroy you. These are not coincidences, they are interventions. They are proofs that heaven stood between you and destruction. That unseen walls of fire shielded you from the arrows of the enemy. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. This is not a distant promise. It has been your reality. The battles you could not fight were fought for you. The wars you did not see were already won before you arrived. When you were still, when you were silent, when you thought you had nothing left to give, heaven fought. Angels waged war on your behalf. The Lord himself stood as your defender. Beloved, this is why you must stop calling yourself weak. You survived not because you were fragile, but because you were fortified. The evidence of endurance in your life is proof that the Spirit of God has been your strength. If you had truly been weak, the storms would have broken you long ago. The fact that you are still here, breathing, standing, listening, reading this is evidence that you are not weak, but chosen, and chosen ones are never left unprotected. Your life carries a seal. That seal is why the enemy could not destroy you even when he tried. It is why every plot, every scheme, every whispered curse failed. It is why the chains shattered, why the fire refined instead of consumed, why the waters carried instead of drowned. The seal of heaven marks you as untouchable in the ways that matter most. Beloved chosen one, you must also understand that your survival is not small. It is not random. It is not meaningless. Every time you survived, you testified, even if silently, that God's promises are true. Every time you endured, heaven was glorified. Every time you chose to rise again, the enemy was humiliated. Your survival is a weapon. It speaks louder than words. It echoes in eternity. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace. They did not emerge without scars. They emerged without even the smell of smoke. That is what survival in God looks like. The fire may burn around you, but it cannot define you. The waters may rise, but they cannot swallow you. The shadows may surround, but they cannot silence you. You are proof that survival is not just endurance, it is victory. And this victory has purpose. You were not preserved just to exist. You were preserved to testify, to influence, to break chains for others. The very storms you endured now give you authority to calm storms in the lives of those around you. The valleys you walked through give you language to guide others through their valleys. The scars you carry are no longer marks of shame. They are maps for those who are still wandering. Beloved, your survival is also your commissioning. The reason heaven kept you is because there is still work to be done. You have an assignment attached to your name. Souls are connected to your obedience. Nations are tied to your endurance. Generations will be blessed because you refuse to surrender. This is not exaggeration, it is the reality of being chosen. Lift your eyes and realize this. You are not just surviving anymore. You are moving into thriving. You are not simply existing, you are stepping into influence. The survival season was the proving ground. Now comes the season of fruitfulness. The soil watered by your tears will soon bloom with harvest. The seeds planted in your nights of sorrow will burst forth in joy. Do not despise the survival season, for it prepared you for what is next. Without the valleys, you would not appreciate the mountains. Without the storms, you would not value the calm. Without the tears, you would not carry the authority of compassion. The survival season was not wasted, it was woven into the tapestry of your destiny, stitched with precision by the hand of God. Beloved chosen one, walk forward with confidence. The days of questioning whether you belong, whether you are enough, whether you can endure, they are behind you. Your very survival has answered those questions. You belong. Because heaven marked you, you are enough. Because God equips what He calls, you can endure. Because you already have. The earth needs your survival story. There are souls waiting to hear that storms can be endured, that valleys can be crossed, that fire can refine instead of destroy. Your story will become the key that unlocks prison doors for others. Your scars will become the testimony that heals. Your endurance will become the roadmap for generations. Heaven shook when you survived. Angels marveled. Hell trembled. And God smiled. Because your survival was not just about you, it was about eternity. Your name is written not in the ink of defeat, but in the ink of destiny. And your survival is the evidence that nothing, not even the fiercest storm, can erase what God has decreed. Beloved, walk boldly now. Do not shrink back. Do not minimize what you endured. Do not silence the testimony of your survival. Lift your head, stretch your shoulders, and remember, you are not just a survivor, you are chosen. and chosen ones are preserved for glory. Chosen one. When heaven looks at you, it does not see the labels the world has tried to place upon you. It does not measure you by your failures, your past, or your mistakes. Heaven sees identity, your true name, the one spoken over you before the foundations of the world. That name is not defined by shame, but by purpose, not by weakness, but by glory. You are not who they said you were, you are who He says you are. From the very beginning, the enemy has tried to distort your identity. He has whispered lies into your mind, hoping you would believe them. Lies that you are worthless, lies that you are alone, lies that you are too broken to be chosen. But these whispers have no authority, because the voice of God has already spoken something greater over you. His word has the final say. You were formed with intention. Every scar testifies to purpose, not failure. The Maker traced your outline with care and stamped destiny into your bones. When lies accuse, remember the artisan who crafted you with meaning and meticulous love. You are chosen and not abandoned. Do not let the past narrate your value. Your history is a chapter, not the whole book. God reads the full manuscript and highlights grace. He writes redemption into margins you thought torn. His mercy rewrites every ending into a beginning. Stand firm in the name spoken over you. Speak truth to the accusations. Silence them with declarations of who you are in Him. Identity is reclaimed by words that agree with heaven, not by whispers of doubt. Surround yourself with reminders, people, scriptures, songs that reinforce your new name. Train your heart to reject labels that carry no divine weight. The more you rehearse truth, the less the enemy's lies land. Walk forward as one reintroduced to destiny. Your worth is declared by the lover of your soul, not by applause or failure. Rise into the name He called you, and let that name shape every step you take. Move boldly. Heaven backs your steps always. Now, it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 1. But now, this is what the Lord says, He who created you, Jacob, He who formed you, Israel, do not fear. For I have redeemed you, I have summoned you by name, you are mine. Do you see the power in these words? Beloved, you are not just a random life drifting in chaos. You were created. You were formed with intention. You were summoned by name. And most of all, you belong to Him. No voice of the enemy, no opinion of man, no shadow of the past can change this truth. You are His. Beloved chosen one. This identity cannot be shaken. It is eternal, sealed by the blood of Christ and confirmed by the Spirit within you. When heaven calls you by name, every counterfeit label must fall. You are not failure, you are forgiven. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. You are not abandoned, you are beloved. Every time you remember who you are, the chains of deception break. Think of Gideon, hiding in fear, convinced he was the least in his family, unworthy of anything great. Yet the angel of the Lord called him mighty warrior. His reality said weak, but heaven declared warrior. And it was heaven's word, not Gideon's fear, that defined his destiny. So it is with you. You may see weakness, but heaven sees strength. You may feel broken, but heaven sees wholeness. You may feel lost, but heaven sees direction. Chosen one, Your identity is not in what you do, it is in who you are. Titles may change, seasons may shift, circumstances may rise and fall, but your name in heaven remains the same. It is written into eternity. It is sealed in the heart of God, and it cannot be erased. This is why the enemy fears you, because when you know who you are, you walk differently, you speak differently, you pray differently. Identity breeds authority, and authority terrifies the kingdom of darkness. That is why the lies have been relentless, because if you ever discover your true identity, nothing can stop you. Beloved, you must begin to walk in agreement with your true name. Stop repeating the lies. Stop labeling yourself with shame. Stop agreeing with the enemy's narrative. Begin to declare who God says you are. Speak it until it becomes the rhythm of your soul. Live it until it becomes the atmosphere around you. Your words matter, and when they align with heaven, they release power. Your identity also carries responsibility. To know who you are is to know what you are called to do. You are not chosen to wander, you are chosen to lead. You are not set apart to remain silent, you are set apart to declare. You are not preserved for comfort, you are preserved for impact. Heaven has named you for mission, and your identity is the key to unlocking your destiny. Beloved chosen one, imagine standing in a vast crowd with countless voices clamoring for attention, and yet, when God calls your name, it pierces through the noise. You recognize it instantly. His voice cuts through confusion, silences the chaos, and reminds you who you are. That call is still echoing now. He is still whispering, "You are mine." And when you know you are His, fear loses its grip. When you know you are His, shame loses its sting. When you know you are His, the world can no longer define you. The storms may rage, but they cannot steal your name. The battles may wound, but they cannot erase your belonging. The lies may shout, but they cannot silence the truth of your identity. Chosen one, you are called by name. You are formed with purpose. You are redeemed by blood. You are sealed with fire. And you are being raised as a witness of what it means to walk in true identity. The world may not recognize you yet, but heaven already celebrates you. The enemy may still resist, but he cannot undo what has been decreed. Lift your head and embrace this truth. You are not who you once were. You are a new creation. You are not what the world says. You are what heaven has spoken. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece. You are chosen, marked, beloved, and unshakable. Chosen one. There are moments when the heavens look down upon your life and see the unseen battles you have endured, and it becomes clear why you are still here. Destiny has not released you. You were preserved for this very hour, and heaven has already marked this season as a turning point for you. The shaking that you felt in your spirit recently was not destruction, it was alignment. God has been shifting the ground beneath you so that you would not remain in old cycles. He has been positioning you, moving pieces you could not move, opening paths you could not create, and shutting doors you did not have the courage to close. This is the season when what was hidden will be revealed. For years, your prayers felt like seeds buried in the soil, unseen and unrecognized. You watered them with tears, you guarded them with faith, and you wondered if they would ever bloom. Now, beloved, the season of sprouting has come. Heaven has decreed that the soil is ready to release what it has been holding. The roots you could not see have been spreading deeply, and the fruit you will soon carry will astonish even you. It is written in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Do you hear the urgency in this promise? The proper time has been written into your life. The harvest is attached to your endurance. And because you did not quit, because you refused to let weariness consume you, you are standing at the threshold of reaping. Heaven shook when you did not surrender. Angels whispered your name when you chose faith over despair. And now the Spirit declares, "It is time." Beloved, do not despise the waiting season. It was never wasted. The years that felt silent were years of preparation. The prayers that felt unanswered were prayers filling bowls in heaven, waiting to be poured out. The tears you thought were ignored became streams that softened the soil. The disappointments that broke you became the refining fire that purified your motives. You are not just walking into a harvest, you are walking into a holy unveiling of everything God has been preparing for you. This is why you feel the stirring inside you. Something is different. You cannot explain it, but you sense it. It is as if the atmosphere around you has shifted, as though the air itself is carrying a new fragrance. That is the sign of breakthrough. That is the mark of alignment. Heaven has already moved, and your spirit is responding to what has been released. Beloved, chosen one, do not let doubt rob you of this moment. Do not let fear silence your agreement. Heaven has already decreed it, but earth must echo it. Your voice, your agreement, your declaration is the seal. What you release with your mouth aligns you with what has already been released in heaven. That is why prophetic actions carry so much weight. They are not about ritual, they are about resonance. And so, in this holy moment, heaven invites you into a declaration of agreement. This is the prophetic call. Comment 1111. Why this number? Because 1111 represents divine alignment and new beginnings. It is a sign that heaven and earth are converging, that the promises written over your life are unfolding in perfect order. It speaks of doors opening, of transitions into destiny, of heaven's timing being fulfilled. When you comment 1111, you are not simply typing numbers, you are declaring, "I align with heaven's timing. I step into the harvest. I embrace the new season." Beloved, do not underestimate the power of this act. The enemy has been terrified of your agreement because he knows that once you align, nothing can stop what has been decreed. Every delay will lose its grip. Every barrier will crumble. Every shadow will scatter. Your agreement activates what heaven has already released. Think of the walls of Jericho. They did not fall because of human strength. They fell because a prophetic act, a shout of agreement, was released at the appointed time. In the same way, your comment of 1111 is not about screens or algorithms. It is a shout in the spirit. It is a declaration that you will not miss your season, that you will not live beneath your inheritance, that you are stepping fully into the alignment heaven has prepared for you. Beloved, chosen one, you have endured much. The enemy thought you would break before this moment arrived. He thought the waiting would drain your faith. The silence would kill your hope. The battles would shatter your will. But here you are, still standing, still believing, still chosen. And because you are still here, heaven is saying, it is time. This harvest will not look like what you expected. It will be greater. It will be deeper. It will overflow in ways you cannot yet imagine. And it will not be for you alone. It will touch generations. Your yes, your endurance, your alignment will become a blessing for your children, for your community, for people you may never meet. That is the nature of harvest. It multiplies beyond the sower. Beloved, step boldly into this season. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. Heaven is aligning the pieces, and your voice is the seal. Declare it. Agree with it. Mark this moment as holy. The harvest is here. The breakthrough is unfolding. The doors are opening. Comment now 1111, because this is not just your story, it is heaven's testimony through your life, and the earth must hear it. Chosen one, the time has come for you to see the ripple effect of your obedience. Every prayer you whispered, every act of surrender you made, every yes you gave to God when no one was watching has released waves into eternity. Though you often felt invisible, heaven never overlooked you. And now, what was done in secret is preparing to echo loudly. Not for your glory, but for God's. This is the principle of the kingdom. What is sown in hiddenness is reaped in public. The seeds you planted with tears will rise as testimonies for generations. The obedience that cost you everything will become the inheritance for others. You were faithful in the shadows, and now the Lord is preparing to place you on a hill where your light cannot be hidden. The Word of God declares in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Beloved, this is who you are. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to be hidden forever. Your light was crafted to pierce the darkness. Your story designed to disrupt despair. Your testimony destined to ignite hope. When you walk into rooms, atmospheres change. When you open your mouth, chains weaken. When you live in obedience, heaven invades earth through you. But light was never meant to be concealed. A lamp under a bowl benefits no one. You have been preserved through storms not to remain silent, but to shine. And shining is not about performance, it is about authenticity. It is not about striving, it is about surrender. When you live fully as who God created you to be, without apology, your light shines brightest. Beloved, chosen one, many around you are stumbling in shadows. They are searching for something real, something pure, something powerful. They do not need perfection. They need presence. They need to encounter someone who carries heaven within them, and that is you. You are the vessel, the torch, the lighthouse pointing weary souls back to the shore of God's love. This is why I want to pause and speak to your heart. If this word resonates in your spirit, if you feel heaven confirming that you are the light called to shine in this generation, then do not let this moment pass quietly. There are simple, intentional ways to align with this truth and amplify the light. Like this message, not as routine, but as agreement. Each like is not for numbers, it is for resonance. It is a prophetic way of saying, yes, I am the light. Yes, I will shine. Yes, I agree with heaven's call on my life. Share this message. Why? Because there are countless souls wandering in darkness right now who desperately need light. They are waiting for a sign, for a word, for a testimony that breaks through the shadows. Your act of sharing may be the very spark that brings them back to life. Do not underestimate it. One share could rescue someone on the edge. One share could change a destiny. And subscribe. Beloved, with intention. This is not about following content for entertainment. It is about staying connected to a flow of prophetic reminders that keep your spirit burning bright. In a world full of distractions, you need consistent voices of alignment. Subscribing is not a passive action, it is a prophetic choice to remain near the fire, to keep your light alive, to journey with a remnant rising together. Do you see it now? Every act like share, subscribe is not just digital, it is spiritual. It is alignment, agreement, amplification. It is saying to heaven, I will not hide my light. I will let it shine. I will partner with the call to be a city on a hill. Beloved, chosen one, the days of hiding are over. The mantle you carry cannot remain unseen. The testimony you hold cannot remain silent. The light within you cannot remain dim. The world is darker than ever, and this is the very reason you were born for such a time as this. Do not shrink back. Do not fear rejection. Do not apologize for shining. Light was never meant to ask permission, it was meant to illuminate. And you, beloved, are that light. Heaven shook when you said yes, and now earth must see the glow of that yes. Think of the generations who will benefit from your obedience. Think of the lives who will find hope because you refuse to hide. Think of the souls who will be rescued because you let your light shine unapologetically. Your story is not small. Your light is not fragile. Your calling is not insignificant. So let this be your moment of alignment. Shine boldly. Live authentically. Declare without shame that you are the light of the world. And let every like, every share, every subscription become a testimony in the unseen realm I refuse to hide. I will shine. I am chosen. Beloved, lift your head high. The lamp has been lit, and it will not go out. Walk into rooms knowing you carry heaven's glow. Speak knowing your words break chains. Pray knowing your authority shifts atmospheres. Live knowing your presence terrifies darkness. You are chosen. You are light. You are unstoppable. Chosen one. The weight of destiny on your life has been undeniable. Every season of pain, every trial, every battle was shaping you into a vessel fit for glory. What once felt like breaking was actually building. What once looked like endings were in truth beginnings. And now, as you stand in this moment, heaven wants you to recognize that your life is not only testimony, it is prophecy. Your journey is not just about survival, it is about becoming a living declaration of what God can do through a chosen vessel. You have often wondered why the road has been so narrow, why the fire has been so hot, why the cost has been so high. Beloved, it is because you are not ordinary. Your story carries generational weight. The battles you fought were not just for yourself, they were for those who will walk after you. Every chain that broke in your life has paved a path for others to walk in freedom. Every tear you shed watered a harvest you may not fully see, but that will bless others beyond your reach. You did not carry the burden to collapse, but to grow. Every wound is a lesson. Every rising after a fall is a step forward of grace. Do not minimize the days of refining. Those very seasons forged the strength you walk in today. The chains broken in the past are not failures, but openings for heaven to intervene. You have shattered patterns that bound many generations. Your quiet acts are laying the foundation for blessings that will flow through your lineage. Now is the time to keep your vision steady. You do not live only for today, but for a legacy. Every prayer, every faithful decision, every time you choose holy humility instead of self-preservation accumulates authority for your assignment. Continue to walk with courage and gratitude. Let what you endured become a source of hope. Let your scars serve as evidence of healing, and let your journey lead those who are lost back into the light. It is written in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. Beloved, this is heaven's declaration over you. An open door stands before you, one that cannot be shut by man, by fear, or by the enemy's schemes. You may feel small in strength, but your obedience has unlocked favor. Your perseverance has positioned you at the threshold of promise. Your yes has kept you in alignment. And now heaven is saying, step forward. The open door is not only for personal blessing, it is for generational transformation. When you step through, others will follow. When you say yes, others will find courage. When you walk boldly, others will rise. Your obedience is contagious. Your faith is catalytic. That is why the enemy fought you so fiercely, because he knew your breakthrough would multiply into many breakthroughs. Beloved chosen one, the time has come for you to stop doubting whether you belong here. Stop questioning whether the promises apply to you. Stop wondering if you are truly enough. Heaven has already spoken, the door is open. The invitation is extended. The mantle is resting upon you. All that remains is your agreement. This is why heaven calls you to a prophetic act, even now. Comment, I choose. Just 2 words, but they carry eternal weight. When you type those words, you are declaring to every realm, heaven, earth, and hell that you will not shrink back. You will not hesitate. You will not live in doubt. You are declaring, I choose obedience. I choose destiny. I choose to walk through the open door God has placed before me. Beloved, the power of that declaration is greater than you imagine. For so long, hesitation has tried to chain you. Fear has whispered, what if you fail? What if you are not enough? What if the cost is too high? But when you declare, I choose, you silence hesitation. You break agreement with fear. You align yourself with heaven's courage. You step boldly into the new. Think of Ruth when she chose to follow Naomi, saying, your God will be my God. That choice shifted her destiny and placed her in the lineage of the Messiah. Think of Joshua when he declared, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. That choice set the course for a nation. In the same way, your I choose is not small, it is generational. It is eternal. It carries ripples that will outlast you. Beloved, understand this. The enemy fears your choice more than anything, because once you choose, his grip is broken. Once you choose, his whispers lose power. Once you choose, the chains fall. That is why he fought to keep you paralyzed in indecision, why he pressed you with confusion, why he tried to drown you in doubt. But this moment is your turning point. When you declare, I choose, everything shifts. Do not underestimate the importance of this act. It is not just words, it is warfare. It is covenant. It is alignment. You are stepping into a place of clarity, boldness, and authority that hesitation has long tried to keep from you. Beloved, chosen one, let your spirit rise as you declare it. Say it with faith. Say it with courage. Say it with conviction. Comment boldly, "I choose." And as you do, feel the atmosphere shift. Feel heaven lean in with joy. Feel the enemy tremble with fear. Because your choice seals your breakthrough. And your breakthrough becomes the doorway for others. You are not standing at the end, you are standing at the beginning. The open door is real. The harvest is ready. The promise is alive. And heaven is waiting for your yes. Beloved, you are chosen for this moment, chosen for this season, chosen for this calling. Do not hesitate. Do not shrink back. Do not doubt. Declare it now. Declare it boldly. Declare it eternally. Comment, "I choose." Chosen one. When you look back over the long path of your life, you will begin to notice how every detail, even the smallest and most painful, has been part of a larger design. Nothing was wasted. The moments you thought were meaningless, the seasons you believed were barren, the losses you carried with silent tears, all of them became threads woven into a tapestry you could not yet see. Heaven has been orchestrating, aligning, and shaping your destiny in ways far beyond your comprehension. You often wondered why certain prayers seemed unanswered, why certain doors never opened, why certain people left. At the time, it felt like rejection, but now it is revealed as protection. What you thought was delay was actually preparation. What you thought was silence was actually strategy. Heaven was not punishing you. Heaven was preserving you. You were being guarded for a moment when your story would speak louder than your words, when your life itself would testify of God's hand. The prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Beloved, this is the rhythm of your journey. The promises over your life have always been real. They were not forgotten, nor revoked, nor abandoned. They were simply waiting for the appointed time. And now, you are closer to that appointed time than ever before. Every shaking you felt recently has been heaven's signal that alignment is here, that the delay is ending, that the unfolding has begun. Do you see it? The signs are subtle but undeniable. Doors you could not push are beginning to creak open. Conversations you never planned are leading to opportunities you could not have created. Strength you thought was gone is returning like fresh wind in your lungs. This is not coincidence, it is convergence. It is the appointed time beginning to manifest. Beloved chosen one, your endurance has carried weight in the unseen. Every time you chose to keep walking when your legs were heavy, every time you whispered a prayer when your heart was tired, every time you lifted your eyes when despair pressed down, these acts became incense rising before the throne. Angels recorded them. Heaven remembered them. And now, the bowls are tipping, and the fragrance of your endurance is becoming the oil of your breakthrough. Understand this, your breakthrough is not random, nor is it fragile. It is the fruit of divine timing. Heaven has been aligning circumstances around you long before you saw any evidence. Even in silence, God was working. Even in waiting, He was weaving. Even in despair, he was designing. Now, what was hidden is being revealed, and what was delayed is being delivered. This is why your story matters so much. Others may see only the surface, your smile, your words, your outward resilience, but heaven sees the full story. Heaven sees the nights of wrestling, the days of weariness, the battles of the mind, and it is precisely those hidden struggles that qualify you for authority now. You are not stepping into breakthrough as a casual participant, you are stepping into it as one forged by fire. Beloved, your scars are not shame, they are signatures. They are evidence that you have been through fire and did not burn, through waters and did not drown, through storms and did not sink. They are marks of endurance, and they speak louder than perfection ever could. When others encounter your life, they will sense not just your words but your weight, the weight of one who has walked through valleys and still stands. This is the mystery of chosen ones. They are not preserved from storms, but preserved through them. They are not exempt from pain, but transformed by it. They are not shielded from trials, but strengthened within them. And when the appointed time comes, their testimony becomes a lighthouse for others still wandering in darkness. You, beloved, are such a lighthouse. Think of the lives connected to your obedience. There are people you may never meet who will find hope because of your story. There are families who will be restored because you refused to quit. There are hearts that will find healing because you carried scars with dignity. The ripple of your endurance will go farther than your eyes can see, deeper than your mind can comprehend. Beloved, chosen one, lift your eyes now. Do not live as though you are still in delay. Do not speak as though you are still in waiting. Begin to walk as one who knows the time is near, as one who knows the harvest is ready, as one who knows the appointed moment has arrived. Your words, your prayers, your actions must now reflect alignment with heaven's timing. And remember, the God who promised is faithful. He is not a man that he should lie, nor the Son of Man that he should change his mind. If he has spoken it, he will fulfill it. If he has decreed it, he will deliver it. The revelation awaits an appointed time, and that time is drawing near with every breath you take. Beloved, do not fear the future. Do not mourn the past. Walk boldly in the present, knowing that heaven is shaking with anticipation of your unveiling. Angels rejoice. The enemy trembles, and creation itself waits for the revealing of the sons and daughters of God. You are part of that revealing. Your appointed time will not be denied. Chosen one, when you quiet your heart long enough to listen, you will realize that there has always been a rhythm guiding your steps, a pulse not of your own making, but of heaven's design. At times, it sounded like silence, and you mistook it for absence. At times, it felt like delay, and you mistook it for denial. But now, as the threads of your journey come together, you can see that every pause, every detour, every delay was in sync with a divine tempo. You have been moving in God's rhythm all along, even when you didn't recognize it. The truth is, chosen ones are rarely rushed into destiny. They are forged slowly, carefully, like gold in the furnace or wine in the press. This is why your journey felt longer than others, while others seemed to rise quickly. You were hidden, while others seemed to move ahead. You were slowed down, but heaven was never behind schedule. The hiddenness was your protection. The slowness was your preparation. The silence was your consecration. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Beloved, this verse is not just comfort, it is confirmation. Heaven has known the plan all along. When you felt lost, heaven saw the map. When you doubted, heaven held the design. When you thought the story was ruined, heaven kept writing. You are not an accident wandering in chaos. You are a chosen vessel moving according to divine intention. Think of the years that felt wasted, the relationships that failed, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, the prayers that seemed unanswered. You called them losses, but heaven calls them layers. Each one added depth to your spirit, compassion to your heart, authority to your words. The experiences you wished had never happened are the very experiences that qualify you now. Without them, your voice would be shallow. Because of them, your voice carries weight. Beloved chosen one, heaven trusted you with breaking so that you could carry healing. Heaven trusted you with sorrow so that you could carry joy that is not superficial but eternal. Heaven trusted you with endurance so that you could carry authority that cannot be shaken. This trust was not easy, but it was necessary. And now, the world will see the fruit of what heaven has been cultivating in secret. The pain you endured is not your identity, it is your platform. The shame you carried is not your destiny, it is your testimony. The tears you cried are not your weakness, they are your anointing. Nothing was wasted. Everything has been redeemed, reshaped, redefined by the hand of God. Beloved, reflect for a moment on how many times you thought you had reached the end. How many times you believed you had nothing left, only to find strength rise from nowhere. That was not your own resilience, it was heaven breathing into you. You were sustained not by willpower, but by grace. And that grace is the same force that now propels you into the future written for you. You see, destiny is not fragile. It cannot be stolen by others, destroyed by enemies, or erased by mistakes. It is anchored in eternity, sealed by the blood of Christ, protected by the fire of God. The only thing that could delay it was your own agreement, but even then, mercy kept pursuing you until you said yes. Heaven never gave up on you. The plans never dissolved. The hope never expired. Beloved chosen one, this is why you feel the stirring now. The dreams that seemed dormant are waking again. The visions you once set aside are re-emerging. The fire you thought was gone is burning anew. These are not random emotions, they are signals that destiny is aligning. Heaven is calling you into remembrance of who you truly are and what you are meant to carry. But remember, destiny is not just about you. Your life is connected to countless others. Your yes is a door for many. Your obedience is a key for generations. The choices you make ripple outward far beyond your reach. This is why the warfare was so intense, because the enemy knew your influence would multiply. But this is also why heaven invested so heavily in you, because your destiny will carry eternal weight. Beloved, do not underestimate what is unfolding. The small steps you take in faith today will become testimonies tomorrow. The prayers you whisper now will become breakthroughs for others later. The obedience you walk in this season will become legacy for your family. Every act matters. Every choice carries significance. Every yes shapes eternity. Look at your scars. Beloved, do not despise them. They are evidence that you survived what should have destroyed you. They are proof that the enemy failed. They are marks of grace, reminders of mercy, signs of endurance. And when others see them, they will not see weakness, they will see glory. Your scars are not the end of your story. They are the ink heaven used to write your calling. Beloved, chosen one, lift your head. You are walking in a season where the hidden will be revealed, where the waiting will bear fruit, where the promises will manifest. Do not fear the future, it is filled with hope. Do not regret the past, it has been redeemed. Do not doubt the present, it is holy. Every step you take is aligned with heaven's plan. Every breath you draw is proof of purpose. Every moment you live is saturated with meaning. The world may still mislabel you, but heaven knows your true name. The enemy may still whisper lies, but heaven's decree is louder. Circumstances may still try to intimidate you, but heaven's fire surrounds you. Nothing can change what has been written. Nothing can erase what has been decreed. Nothing can silence what has been spoken over your life. Beloved, you are chosen, you are preserved, you are anointed, and you are stepping into the season where all that has been hidden will finally be revealed. Heaven shook when you endured. Heaven roared when you chose obedience. And heaven now sings over you as you step into destiny. Chosen one, the journey of your soul has always been more than survival. It has been about transformation, about becoming something new, something radiant, something aligned with eternity itself. Every trial you endured was not simply to test your strength, but to reveal your essence. Like gold in the furnace, you have been refined. Like clay in the hands of the potter, you have been shaped. And what emerges now is not what once was, but what was always meant to be. This truth is ancient, yet it burns freshly in your spirit today. You have been through seasons where your very identity seemed uncertain. You wondered, who am I really? Why was I placed here? Why is the road so difficult? These questions were not a sign of failure, they were evidence of deep calling. Only those chosen wrestle this way. Only those marked for more are pressed to such depths. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 18, carry power for you. Now I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Beloved, hear this clearly. The weight of glory that rests upon you is far greater than the weight of the pain you carried. The scales of eternity tip in your favor. Every sleepless night, every tear-stained pillow, every battle of the mind, all of it pales when set against the glory that is now beginning to rise within you. What you endured was not wasted. It was a deposit, an investment in glory that could not be birthed any other way. Think of how a seed must break underground before it can rise. To the outside eye, the breaking looks like death, but in truth it is life pushing through. That is your story. What seemed like breaking was birthing. What seemed like endings were the hidden beginnings of resurrection. Glory was being formed in the shadows, and now it is about to shine. Beloved, chosen one, this glory is not only for eternity, it begins here and now. It will manifest in the way you walk with authority, the way your words carry weight, the way your presence shifts atmospheres. People will sense it without knowing how to explain it. They will see resilience in your eyes, fire in your spirit, peace in your demeanor, They will wonder how you carry such weight with such grace, and the answer will be the glory of God revealed in you. Your scars will glow with this glory. Your wounds, once sources of shame, will radiate as testimonies. Your battles, once private struggles, will become public proofs of victory. And none of it will point back to you alone. It will point upward, declaring that heaven's hand has been on you all along. Beloved, you must understand that glory is heavy. It is not for the faint-hearted. That is why your training has been so intense. Why your wilderness was so long. Why your refining was so fierce. You were being prepared to carry weight others could not. To bear glory requires capacity, and capacity is forged in the fire. Heaven stretched you not to break you, but to make you spacious enough to contain what is coming. The enemy fought this process at every step. He tried to convince you the pain meant abandonment, that the silence meant rejection, that the battles meant you were forgotten. But those were lies meant to distract you from the truth that the very suffering he mocked you for was the soil in which glory was taking root. He wanted you to curse the soil, but heaven wanted you to endure until the bloom. And you did endure. That is why glory is rising now. Beloved chosen one, you are entering a season where your story will speak without words. Your life itself will become a sermon. Your very existence, a declaration. The way you stand, the way you love, the way you remain faithful will radiate glory. You will become a mirror reflecting heaven to those lost in shadows. And this is not arrogance, it is assignment. You were always meant to be a vessel of glory. This is why comparison must die in you. Do not measure your journey against another's. Do not envy their ease or resent their speed. You were never walking the same path. Their process is theirs, but your process was tailored to the glory you carry. What you endured, they may not have survived. What you survived, they may not have faced. Do not belittle your story. It was crafted with eternal precision. Beloved, think of Moses, whose face radiated after encountering God. Think of Stephen, whose countenance shone even as stones were raised against him. Think of Christ himself, transfigured on the mountain, revealing the light that was always within him. You, too, will radiate not in the same way, but with the same source. The glory rising in you will shine in ways unique to your calling. And here is the mystery: the greater the suffering, the greater the revelation of glory. You thought your pain disqualified you, but in truth it qualified you. You thought your weakness discredited you, but in truth it authenticated you. You thought your scars ruined you, but in truth they certified you. Heaven's glory does not rest on the unbroken. It rests on those who were broken and yet remained in his hands. Beloved chosen one, let this truth settle deeply. You are not waiting for glory to come someday. You are already a carrier. Every time you forgive when bitterness beckons, glory shines. Every time you worship in the valley, glory rises. Every time you love when it costs you, glory glows. Glory is not a far-off destination. It is the present reality of Christ revealed in you. Lift your head, beloved. The world needs to see what heaven has placed inside you. Do not dim your light out of fear. Do not silence your song out of shame. Do not hide your scars as though they disqualify you. This glory was meant to be revealed. The earth is groaning, waiting, longing for sons and daughters to step into their radiance. And you are one of them. So walk forward with boldness. Let the glory within you rise without apology. Let your scars shine. Let your story roar. Let your life declare that God takes ashes and makes beauty, takes brokenness and makes wholeness, takes suffering and makes glory. Heaven shook when you endured, and now heaven rejoices as glory is unveiled in you. Chosen one, as the journey unfolds to its final chapters, you must recognize that your life has been far more than a sequence of random events. From the very first breath until this very moment, you have been part of a divine design, a story written before the foundations of the world. Heaven itself has borne witness to your trials, your endurance, and your victories. You are not a bystander in history. You are a participant in eternity's unfolding. The earth shook when you rose from ashes. The heavens stirred when you whispered prayers through tears. The throne of God has recorded every step, every sacrifice, every act of faith. You thought no one noticed, but the universe itself responded. Angels were dispatched when you chose obedience, and even the powers of darkness trembled when you refused to surrender. Your life has never been ordinary. It has always been a battlefield and a testimony. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Beloved, this is the decree over your destiny. You are not called to remain in shadows, not created to dwell in silence. You are called to arise, to shine, to let the glory of God that rests upon you become visible in a world desperate for hope. The light within you was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to illuminate paths for others who cannot yet see. Every storm you endured was preparation for this rising. Every fire you walked through refined the flame now burning within you. Every valley you crossed became the soil from which your strength now grows. You are not the same person who once doubted your worth or feared your future. You are transformed, carrying a radiance that darkness cannot comprehend and cannot overcome. Beloved chosen one, this is not the end of your story. It is the unveiling. The years of waiting, the seasons of silence, the crushing of your spirit, all of it has led to this moment where heaven's decree resounds. Arise, shine. Do not shrink back now. Do not question whether you are ready. You have already been made ready through the fires you endured and the battles you survived. Your destiny is not a distant dream. It is the reality now rising before you. The open doors are not illusions. They are divine invitations. The opportunities are not coincidences, they are alignments. The weight you feel in your spirit is not heaviness, it is glory pressing to be revealed. You are walking into a season where the hidden will be unveiled, the broken will be healed, and the promises long delayed will come forth with power. Beloved, think of how far you have come. Once, you believed your pain disqualified you. Now, it has become your authority. Once, you thought your scars ruined you. Now, they are your credentials. Once, you doubted your worth. Now, you stand as proof that worth is not earned, it is bestowed. Heaven has not only... The world will see what heaven already knew. You are chosen. This truth must carry you into every step ahead. Do not measure your worth by the world's scales. Do not define your future by the enemy's lies. Do not hold back because of fear. The light within you is not fragile, it is eternal. The glory upon you is not temporary, it is unstoppable. The destiny written for you is not uncertain, it is sealed. Beloved chosen one, remember that you were never called to walk this journey for yourself alone. You are a vessel, a torchbearer, a lighthouse. Others will find hope through your testimony, strength through your endurance, courage through your obedience. The ripple of your life will extend beyond what you can see, touching generations to come. This is why the battles were so fierce, because the impact of your destiny is so great. Lift your eyes now. See yourself not as the world sees you, not even as you once saw yourself, but as heaven has always seen you, radiant, victorious, beloved, unstoppable. Your past no longer defines you. Your scars no longer bind you. Your failures no longer limit you. You are free. You are whole. You are chosen. The heavens shook because of what you endured, but they now rejoice because of who you have become. The enemy trembled at your rising, but angels sing at your unveiling. The Father delights in you, not because you are perfect, but because you are His. And nothing, no storm, no failure, no lie can change that truth. So arise, beloved, shine with the light that has always been yours. Walk into the destiny that has always been waiting. Carry the glory that has always been upon you. Your time is now. Your story is holy. Your life is prophecy, and heaven itself resounds with joy at the sound of your rising. Chosen one, if these words have stirred your spirit, if they have ignited something deep within you, then know this: it was never by accident that you found them. Heaven has been guiding you, aligning you, and even now orchestrating this exact moment so you would be reminded of who you truly are. You have walked through fire, through waters, through storms, and yet here you are, still standing, still chosen, still marked for destiny. This is more than just a script you have read. It is a mirror of your calling, a prophecy over your journey, a reminder that heaven has always been speaking your name. And now, beloved, it is time not only to receive this word, but to respond to it. When you like this message, it is more than a button pressed. It is an act of agreement. It is saying, yes, I align with what has been spoken. Yes, I claim this truth over my life. Do not underestimate how even the smallest act of faith echoes in eternity. When you share this message, it is not just sending content, it is releasing light. Somewhere, someone right now is desperate for a word, aching for a sign, crying out for hope. Your act of sharing could be the very lifeline that reaches them, the very spark that brings them back to life. Do not let this moment stop with you. Carry it forward. Let others taste the hope that has been given to you. And when you comment, you are not just filling a space on a page, you are declaring with your own voice, I receive this. I agree with this. I step into this. Your comment becomes a written testimony, a marker in time, a proclamation in the unseen realm that you are aligned with heaven's call. Let your words seal what your heart already knows: you are chosen. Beloved, I invite you also to subscribe, not because of numbers or recognition, but because connection matters. In a world that pulls your attention in 1,000 directions, staying rooted in reminders of your calling is vital. Subscribing is not just following, it is choosing to remain connected to the flow of prophetic words that keep your flame alive. It is saying, I will not walk this path alone. I will journey with the remnant rising alongside me. Think of it this way: every like, every share, every comment, every subscription is not simply digital, it is spiritual. It is alignment. It is obedience. It is faith in action. And heaven takes notice. Beloved chosen one, your story is not finished. What you have read here is only the beginning of greater chapters still unfolding. Heaven shook because of what you endured. But now heaven sings because of who you are becoming. Step boldly into this season. Shine your light without apology. And let even your engagement with this word be a prophetic act that declares to the unseen, I am chosen. I am rising. I am unstoppable. So I ask you now with all sincerity, like this message, as your act of agreement, share it so light reaches another soul. Comment to seal it with your own voice. And subscribe to remain connected to the journey. Your obedience, even in this, carries weight. And as you respond, heaven will continue to move. Beloved, your time is now. Step forward, shine, and never forget you are God's chosen one.